Oh, cool. Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing tonight? I have no idea what I'm doing, so if there's technical problems, that is on me. I had to set all of this up. I have no idea what I'm doing. Perfect. Yeah, I didn't know because when I do the videos, I have like a preset audio uh edit. So I tinker with the audio. Sometimes it gets too high, too low. I don't know how that's gonna do without the editor. Summer vacation getaway, where are you at? What you up to? Guys taking a break from going to the movies? I'm gonna figure out how to get this chat. But yeah, this is my first live. I kind of want to do more of them. I kind of want to do more lives if there's engagement. Like if people have questions, I'm open to like Q&As, things like that. I just don't know. It's hard to get people together, you know? Kind of spontaneous. I just had nothing going on. Yeah, Obsession 100 million. It's crazy, man. I've told every single person I know in the real world like go see this film. And even like making 3 videos, I feel like I kind of overhyped it. Like I was like, this is the greatest shit, but I stand by it. Like so good. It makes me so happy because doing YouTube, it's kind of weird. I kind of noticed a while ago that if you just do bad content, like if you shit on stuff, then you'll get a lot more traction. But I like the fact that I loved that movie and it actually is doing well. That's like awesome. I like to talk about things I like. The internet's kind of funky. The internet, they'll just rage. Like you'll get a bunch of engagement, but it's fun whenever you actually love something and you just know. I love that the audience and the critics are loving this because like we've heard this giant debate that critics and audience don't like, they hate each other. Like, no, if you make a good original movie, then it's fine. You just got to make original movies. You got to get word of mouth. Like, if anything, I think Obsession is great because it showcases all of that bullshit that the theaters are saying and the studios are saying when they're like, we need AI, we need to lower the costs, we need to give new people voice. Like, no, you just need to make good movies. You make good enough movies like Obsession, then people will talk about them like they used to talk about them. That is a tale as old as time. Saw Obsession today at 12:20 showing. Theater was over 75. Yeah, I saw Backrooms on, when was that then? Was it Thursday? Whenever it came out, whenever I reviewed it, and that was crazy. Like that was so crazy to me how many people there were for Backrooms. They were in like costumes and shit. But Obsession, there were people waiting in line to see Obsession. They were like, every show at my theater has been sold out since Obsession came out. And I think a lot of it's like you guys are talking about. I think a lot of people are seeing it numerous times. And Obsession's kind of a weird one for me because part of me wants to. Like, I actually thought about it immediately. Like, I almost wanted to do my review and then instantly go back. But I almost feel like I have the risk of watering it down because I thought it was so good and it was so effective. I kind of like don't know if I want to just beat it to death because it's the type of movie I could watch like 3 times in a row. I loved every scene. So I'm giving it a little bit of time. Hopefully when it comes to streaming or people I know in real life, they haven't seen it. Maybe I'll just sit them down. We can watch it. Yeah, I get it. I get it 100%. Even so much, I have people commenting saying they wished that they saw Obsession instead of Backrooms. Saw it again. Like, I don't doubt you at all. Having seen so much stuff out, the only movie I will talk about that I think everybody needs to see that I don't think anybody is going to see is Tuner, which I posted a post about, and I don't think it's going to do very well. It's kind of an old school drama with Dustin Hoffman. Fantastic movie. Loved that movie. Also probably in my top 5 of the year. But that's by a mile. Like everyone's going to lose their mind over Backrooms this week and Obsession, rightfully so. People are sleeping on Tuner. Tuner's very, very good. Also, if you guys got any questions, you guys want to talk about literally anything, throw it out there. I have no plans for anything I was going to do. I almost considered like gaming or something while I talk, just so I had some background to go on, but I figured if there was enough people discussing it, we'd get back into Backrooms and Obsession, so. Give yourself a break. Yeah, hey, what's up, Drew? That was so nice what you said in the comments on Drum Dum's video. We wanted to go see Tuner. It had 0 showtimes. Yeah, it's weird. So I saw Tuner at a mystery showing, and I probably wasn't going to see it, to be honest, because I heard from the internet, and the internet's very hyperbolic these days, that Tuner's, it's like mid, like it's not very good. And I was like, I watched so many films. Do I really want to go watch a drama about this guy who fixes pianos? I was like, in the poster too, it doesn't really sell you on how good it is. And I went to this early showing, and I thought it was going to be that movie I Love Boosters with Keke Palmer, which also doesn't look very good, to be honest, at least to me. It looks all right. And but it looked super colorful and whimsical, so I was like, all right, I'm hearing some good things. And I went and it was Tuner, and I was like, oh shit, it's the Tuner movie. And I was so happy. That's happened like 3 times this year. I went to a mystery showing, and I was like, yes. The point being, I was like, kind of wondering if Tuner's even coming out, because I reviewed that movie so long ago. I thought it was coming out a lot sooner, to the point I was like, is this movie is not coming out? And I looked in my apps, and it's got like 1 showtime, like 35 miles away at some bizarre off-chain theater. Like it's not even in any of the major theaters. It's not at the AMC. So I don't know, man. Well deserved, man. I didn't know you had your own channel. Yeah, people who follow my channel probably already know this, but I am a very, I want to say energetic. I'm a very kind of loud person, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't fit the demeanor. I like to believe I'm pretty logical and open-minded. Like, I try to create an environment on this channel that doesn't shit on people who don't agree with them. Hence the point of that video. Like, I'm seeing all this stuff online. If you think this, you're like a terrible person. Or if you don't get this, you're like, no, dude, it's a movie. Like, everybody has different opinions. And I also just think the way people approach media, since I've joined YouTube and I've kind of gotten to be on the other end of a comment section, is crazy. We'll leave it at that. We can maybe go into that. Some of the comments that I have to filter through, it's like, we're living in the Twilight Zone, man. Yeah, I've had my channel, I think, for almost 2 years. But if I'm being honest, I wouldn't even say I had any idea what I was doing until like 6 months ago. And even now, like, this is the first live I've done. I had so many different things I wanted to do. Yeah, I'm going to give it a break until physical media. Yeah. Here's the problem I run into with physical media, right? So I almost wanted to do a series where I talk about like the DVDs I own and the video games and things. I am infamous for going to stores like thrifting, buying shit on sale, and then I just never watch it. Like, I have a backlog. That white shelf right behind me with the plants is just all DVDs, like everything. It's all Blu-rays. I never watch them though, because it's the same thing. I said this on the channel once. Weirdly enough, I really don't watch a lot of my favorite movies more than a couple of times. Like, even horror films, some movie, like, to put into context, right? Like, I've seen shitty throwaway horror films like Texas Chainsaw 3D more than some of my favorite movies, because they're just lighthearted and they're watchable. And it's weird. So I buy a bunch of stuff and then I look back and I'm like, I don't even watch any of these. So I love the idea of physical media. I just don't watch it a whole lot. Saw a trailer today before Obsession started. RuPaul. If that's the one I'm thinking of, I actually laughed my ass off at the first 20 seconds of that trailer. And then the longer it kept going, I was like, okay, this feels kind of weird. But there were moments of that trailer I laughed very hard at. I have no idea who RuPaul is. I know it's like a drag show, so I don't know any of that. Nice to see you live. Tuner, I'm seeing Monday. I was surprised they made a bobblehead. Yeah, they gave away bobbleheads. Hey, man, what's up, Ryan? How you been? Again, if any of my stuff's messed up, by the way, like audio and stuff, I have like a really wonky system going here. Like, I'm struggling to get the chat going in the audio. But yeah, they were giving away. I just said before you got in here, I saw Tuner at an early showing. It was a mystery showing. And I kind of got annoyed because I heard through the grapevine that they were giving away bobbleheads, like a Dustin Hoffman bobblehead with like a piano because he's in the movie doing that. And I was like, I kind of want that now because I like this movie so much. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. My prediction, Ryan, I think you're going to really like Tuner. Based on the types of movies you like and dramas, I think that movie's going to be right up your alley. Especially if you like movies like Uncut Gems, like super chaotic dramas. I find it hilarious when people say they watch a movie 100 times. Really? Yeah. Yeah. One thing you may notice if I talk live compared to my videos is I'm not super hyperbolic I don't use a lot of hyperbole, but I say words like hate and love a lot about things that I don't actually hate and love. That is like a pet peeve I've been working on forever. So I'll be like, oh, I hate that movie. Like I hardly hate anything. But yeah, 100 times, that's one of those things. Like, to be honest, the movies I've seen the most in my life, Lost Boys, Terminator 2, Training Day, they're not really pure horror films. Like some of my favorite horror, I think like Sinister movies people love like that. I've seen that movie like twice, I think, ever. I totally understand I have a ton of movies unopened. Yeah, half the movies behind me and video games, like you guys can't see it, but down here, there's like where my TV is. There's another shelf that's like this white shelf. It's like 6 feet long under the TV. It's nothing but like PS3, PS4, PS2. It's a bunch of old games and like half the DVDs and shit, I don't even open them. Like they're unopened. I bought them on like Black Friday deals and I just never actually wanted to open them or watch them. Not because I don't want to watch them. It's just one of those things. You guys know what it's like. We watch so much stuff. I'm always at the movie theaters. It's like I can just open streaming. There's 50 things on streaming on my watch list. I'm like, do I want to watch a movie I've seen 30 times? Although I will say this, I have gotten into YouTube more. I am really understanding why a lot of people cut back on doing that because I am the type of person, I have a giant watch list. When I tell you guys in the comment section, I'll add it to the list. I put it in my phone and it's like a never ending. It's like 500 movies. And I start to chisel away at it. But the more shit I watch, it's like, damn, dude, I'm watching a movie every night if I do that. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to watch something mindless. I don't want to sit there and critically analyze the movie I'm watching. Favorite movie is probably The Thing, but I've seen it like 13 times. Yeah, it's funny. The Thing is a weird one. So I grew up in a household that loves horror movies for the most part, like thrillers, serial killer stuff. My mom, who actually introduced me to a lot of the stuff I got into when I was young, hated The Thing. She was like, this movie's awful. And then I watched it, I don't know, 10 years ago or something, and I really enjoyed it. I actually watched the remake before, which, hot take, I don't think that's an unwatchable film. The original is way better. The remake's fine, mid. But I watched the original Thing, and I was like, this movie's really good. So I was like nagging her for a long time, like, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this. And I got her to rewatch it recently, and she freaking loved it. Like, she's like, this is awesome. I have no idea why I said this movie sucked for like 30 years. But yeah, that's a fun little story. Yeah, the Thing, we are big Thing supporters. Awesome practical effects too. I don't know. I thought about doing a list, like my top 10 movies and fifth. I'm not good at doing that. Like, what are my favorite movies? That's almost why I structured my reviews the way I do, which is really ineffective, I've realized, but I don't know. I don't know how to change it. Where it's like tier list. Like if I say like Tuner, for example. Tuner's not like an all-time favorite, but it's in that realm where I go, this movie's really good. Like the all-time realm is like, again, Terminator movies, Jurassic Park. But then below that, you have just very, very good movies. And like, it's in that category. So like, I don't know. It feels weird. Like I feel like I would be so stressed out to actually make a list where it's like concrete 100. Stop That Train. Yeah, Stop That Train's the one I saw. There's like an opening scene, the first 30 seconds of that trailer, I laughed my ass off. But then as it kept going, I was like, okay, this is getting a little weird. Oh yeah, it sounds like Tuner. Looking forward to that. What's my next movie? My theater movie on my radar. Huh. Honestly, I think there's like an AMC movie on Monday. Am I wrong? Mystery Movie Monday or something I was probably going to watch. I don't know. I'm kind of I want to hear your guys' thought on this, by the way. Now that you guys are live, we can kind of discuss it. What is your thought on like the type of content I generalized you guys want to see? So when I started my channel, it was just straight up passion stuff. It was like anything if you go back, the reviews are terrible, by the way, but it was like super niche horror films, some old school slashers, but they weren't doing super well. But then I also go to the movies, so I was like, I'm just gonna make my channel like new release horror stuff. But the algorithm 100% super favors horror. Like analytically, I can tell you that. Like if I was to review the Mario movie, that shit would take. Like they do not give me impressions or anything. Well, first off, it's not really my brand. Why would I go watch that movie? It doesn't really appeal to me, but it's also the channel doesn't like it. So anyways, long-winded. I was thinking of doing more videos like that one I did about like the movies with the good trailers or just random thoughts. Like today, I had an idea. I almost did a video instead of going live. It was going to be either here's 5 movies to watch if you liked Obsession, because Obsession's still hot and a lot of people like Obsession. Or because of the Backrooms, it was going to be the 5 most insufferable fan bases I have encountered so far on YouTube. And I thought that one was going to be fun, but I also didn't want to deal with a bunch of nasty comments. Hoping to catch Tuner soon. Do it. You'll love it. I know your type of movie. You'll love that movie. Everything. Romance, drama, thriller. Some of the funniest scenes of the year. It's just an awesome movie. Hockey season has cut into my movie watching, not to brag. Who's your favorite team? I'll be honest, I haven't watched hockey in a long time. I think the last time I watched hockey, when did I watch hockey? It was during the Kings or the Blackhawks dynasty with like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews. I used to get down in NHL, the video game on Xbox 360. I used to be fanatical about that game. Like I was so obsessed with those hockey games. Then I just got busy. The remake would have been perfectly serviceable. Yeah, that's my problem. It gets into the back half, and to be honest, it's way too predictable. I watched that for the first time with a buddy. Carolina Hurricanes. Oh yeah, haven't they only lost like 1 game all the way up to the finals? Scary Movie looks so fun. Dude, Scary Movie looks so good. But I'm worried that it's going to be similar to the old, not like 1 and 2. It's going to be closer to 3 and 4, which I think are fine for their times. Hot take. Like I think Scary Movie 3 with like the stupid hat gimmick, it's got some funny moments, but I don't know if that humor holds up nowadays. So I'm kind of worried. Like they showed all of the best bits in the trailer, but I'm not going to lie. When that theater dropped before Scream 7, my theater was eating it up, man. They were clapping. I was laughing. It was good. Great idea. Top 10 list videos. Yeah, the only thing about the Obsession one is I was trying to think. So, okay, so here's another thing. I'll let you in a little bit of the YouTube side of stuff, Brian. And I'm sure Ryan knows this a little bit as well. I don't know how many like of those type of videos he's made. It's kind of hard to make a video like the Obsession one because you're going to have a lot of movies that are very obvious, like Fatal Attraction and things like that. But then I'm going to start referencing movies that I know of, and nobody knows any of those movies. Like even the video I just made about the trailers, I talked about the Snowman. I thought somebody was going to comment about that shit because that movie's like the worst movie I've ever seen. And I own it, by the way. That's a I'm running white elephant joke. But nobody mentioned it. I don't think most people saw a lot of those movies like Abattoir and things like that. So sometimes it's hard to think of lists that people don't watch and they're just like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, man. Like that's, so it's like a give and take. It's some of the ideas. 12 and 1 going into the finals. Yeah, it's funny because all I used to hear because I had a buddy who moved to Colorado is how good the Avalanche are. The Avalanche are like a new dynasty and they kicked their ass. So that was awesome. So I could just tell him like you lost, buddy. I could do a list of movies I've never seen and we could vote for which one we want you to watch. So I actually thought about that. It's weird. I've thought about doing a couple of things related to your guys' input, but as you know, again, and some other people who follow this know because they create, it's very hard to make ideas that everybody's in on. Like you guys in this chat could give me ideas, but nobody not in this chat did. So like, even if all of you guys said you wanted me to do Jaws or something, everybody else might not. And I've kind of learned that from doing some of the stuff like House of Wax, which I'm still going to do because I just really like talking about some stuff I like. Like I really don't care. I heard somebody else say this once. It's so accurate to me. Like you got to have a divide here when you do YouTube. It's like some of the stuff is channel growing. Some of the stuff is like you just want to talk about shit. That's kind of like the reason to do this live too. But anyways, to get back to what you said, I thought about doing maybe like a Patreon type of thing or a channel member thing, but I don't want to do that really. Like I'm happy a couple people became channel members, but I don't want to start gating content. That feels shitty. Like I don't want to put stuff behind a paywall at all. That's not why I do this. Kings Blackhawk 2010 Grey. Yeah, Jonathan Quick was absurd. I had a conversation with my brother like 2 days ago about him. He's like, "Who's that goaltender on the Kings who's an absolute maniac?" I'm like, "Jonathan Quick." Everybody played him in NHL. They were unstoppable. Top 10 most insufferable fandoms. Star Wars. I don't know. Star Wars fans don't bother me because I don't care about Star Wars. Weirdly, like like I own the Phantom Menace. I used to love Darth Maul. He was like the coolest guy ever. And I watched some other ones, like the original Star Wars. I took a couple of film classes in high school and college, and I loved the original Star Wars. Like just the making of that was fantastic. But I don't even watch them. Like I didn't see the new one, Mandalorian and Grogu. I didn't see the show. I don't have Disney Plus. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it. Like maybe not. I mean, I almost watched it because the trailer looked okay, but everyone's like, this movie stinks. The Star Wars fandom, I swear to God, they hate every single movie. So it's like I have no idea. Like where some of the horror movie fans, they love everything, anything with a jump scare. Like some of the Star Wars fans just straight up hate everything. So I'm like, what? Like I don't know, man. Like I don't know how to appease you people. You guys hate everything, but yet you're fans of it. My mentions are a great way to discover. Well, that's cool, dude, because I would say, to be honest, doing this, when I started YouTube, I said two things to myself. One, I was going to do it for like 6 months to a year, see how I liked it. And then I was going to do it as long as people engaged with it. Those were the two rules. Like, if I had people watching my videos, commenting, I was going to do it. Because I don't care how much I enjoy doing this. I'm not sitting and recording videos and editing for like one view. If nobody engages, there's no point. Like I'll just go talk to somebody in the real world. But when it comes to like sharing stuff with you guys, that's like legitimately the most awesome thing ever. When one of you guys say like, yeah, like I saw that movie because of you, or you guys say like your review is spot on, man. Like I went and saw this because of it. Awesome. Awesome. Because I try to do that in the real world with a lot of people I know, friends and family, and I kind of annoy them sometimes because they're like, dude, all you do is talk about movies, man. It's like, I got to make a YouTube. Yeah, Daddy's Head. Yeah, fire whoever named that movie. Companion, similarities? Yes. Companion was number 2 movie, I think, the year it came out. I think it was number 2. My second favorite. I loved Companion, man. I've shared. I made my whole family watch that. We watched on a holiday, and they loved it, so that's good. But yeah, Companion was fantastic. Jack Quaid, up and coming, awesome actor. Anything that guy's in, I'm gonna be there. He's in another pretty good movie too that nobody knows of that went to streaming. It's called Neighborhood Watch. It's not fantastic or anything, but it's pretty good. It's all experimental, honestly. Another creator I know just started doing the latest Netflix movies, helped his views. It's tough sometimes. Yeah, the thing that's kind of weird to me is I really know what I like. And I don't know if you guys feel this way when I talk about stuff or how it comes, because it's weird. It reminds me, so Curry Barker talked about Obsession, right? And he said that he's seen that movie 150 times. And you definitely don't see it that much, as you'll know, Ryan. But I see everything I put out like 5 times before it happens, between editing and going back. I edit pretty fast, so it's not super, like I don't have to watch it that many times. But like I know what I like. Like I know what I get passionate about. I know what I want to share with you guys. I know the ideas I have. Hey, what's up, Justin? How you doing? And I know what I want to share, like in terms of like what gets me fired up to talk about. But I don't know what other people want because the algorithm makes no fucking sense. Like some of my worst reviews ever that I did was like, oh, I saw that movie, got to put a review out on it. They did like awesome numbers. And then like other reviews that I thought were really good and I was really into, and I was like, this is like, I'm so into this. Like I can talk about it. They did terrible. So it's weird. It's like, it's almost like you can get firsthand testimony from you guys about what's good, but analytically it makes no sense. I'll tell you that much from my end. Like it's impossible to know. So yeah, it's a blend. Like Netflix movies, for example, I follow a couple of channels. They've really blown up because they do streaming movies. Here's the issue. I fucking hate streaming movies. I make that known every review I watch a Netflix film. I have family members when it's the holidays and stuff. So let's throw on something from Netflix. And I'm always like, no, I mean, they're fine sometimes, but I'm a theater guy, 100%, man. Theater guy. Star Wars fans haven't loved anything. See, I've never even seen Return of the Jedi. I think I've seen 3 movies. I think I saw Phantom Menace, the original. What's the one with what's his name? Can't think of his name. Where he says you have the high ground or whatever. I saw that one and I laughed. Anybody saw Novocaine now that you mentioned Jack Quaid? Yeah, I like Novocaine. It's on Amazon Prime right now, by the way, Brian. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free. I liked it. Again, I talked to my family about that one because they love action movies. Like they're Jason Statham nuts. Like they love that type of like action comedy thing. And yeah, they like that a lot. I had a good time with that movie. There was a couple of issues I had. Like I thought the bad guy, who I think is Jack Nicholson's son, I thought he was an absolute cartoon. I liked a lot of it though. I like the romance of it all. I thought that was a pretty fun movie. Which I'll be honest, when you watch a lot of movies like you guys do, it's kind of nice every once in a while to go and watch a movie that has no point at all. Like I just want to watch like a funny movie. I think a lot of critic. I don't like to call myself a critic. I kind of struggle with that. They view everything through a critical lens, like they're analyzing the Minecraft movie. Like if I watch that shit, it's because I do not want to be thinking. That's why I'm watching that. I look forward to your upcoming controversial 10-part video series on Halloween Ends. Dude, seriously, I wish. JK, I'm not shitting. No. I said, yes. I came home and I have a document in my OneDrive called Halloween Ends Fucking Sucks. That's the name of the document. And I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest with you, Drew. I don't hate Halloween Ends as much as a lot of people do. There's people like giving death threats and a bunch of like immature shit that nobody should ever be doing or putting up with. I just had major issues with that movie that I thought were very remedy. Like you could remedy it easily. Like it's the final conclusion of a Halloween franchise. So don't do the Corey Cunningham thing, for one, because nobody wants that. You've advertised this as Mike. He gets his ass beat in the sewer. But there were parts of that movie I thought were fantastic. Like, no lie, I think the opening of Halloween Ends is legit the best opening of a Halloween movie. It was fantastic. I was like, this shit is going to be a banger. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, wait, what does that opening mean? And as the movie went along, I was like, wait, where the fuck is Mike? It's been like an hour and a half. So, I mean, there's parts of the movie I like, which is funny because I'll bring it up to friends and family, and when we talk about Halloween and stuff, and they're always like, they always just lay down the law, like, movie sucks, man. Like they don't want to hear anything. They're in that camp where they're like, this movie is irredeemable. I agree, those Netflix ones are me half the time. Yeah. To me, it's like, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Like Netflix and that shit is watchable. You can watch Netflix, like whatever that movie was. I called it Apex. It's fine. To me, I just don't feel any love when I watch Netflix. It's like every movie is just churned. They're super generic looking. They're never divisive. They're always very consumable. They're like the ultimate, like you're high on the couch at 3 a.m. and you throw them on type of film and you're just zoned out because you don't need to follow the plot. Weird. Yeah, Novocaine. You'll probably like Novocaine. Prequels for Star Wars. Love my honesty. The horror community is like no other. Which part? I don't remember. I don't remember what I was being honest about. I try to be honest all the time. I have no streaming services. AMC A-list, 2 to 3 movies a week. Yeah, AMC A-list is pretty damn good. I've tried to explain to a lot of people, and this is something I struggle with. Again, this is why I made a YouTube channel to some capacity. I've tried to tell people, there's some of the people I know I'm very close with. They're always like, oh, movies are too expensive, man. Like, why are you going to the movies? I'm like, they're not that expensive. If you get A-list, you go during matinee, it's like $5-6 movie. And it's like worth it to me to go see Obsession instead of waiting 3 months, seeing it at home in a shittier thing. I'd rather go see it in like a dark room, great system. I think it's super immersive. To me, movies are just all about immersion. It's like my Undertone take. Like I loved Undertone. I had a great theater experience. I understand why people don't. And I imagine most people who watch that movie at home, no matter what they think of the movie, will not like it as much or hate it as much as the movie theater. Sometimes I want to watch something that isn't connected to a movie series. Yeah, my big issue, guys, and this bugs the hell out of people I know in the real world. They always tell me, hey, thanks, man. They always tell me, they're like, dude, you need to watch this show. And they put me onto a bunch of shows that I really, really think I would like, to be honest. Like, I tell them the same thing, watch some of these shows. And, like, I'm like, dude, I got no time. Like, I'm a movie guy. I watch, like, 10 movies a week. I have a YouTube channel. Like, I've been watching this TV show called Evil I actually really enjoy it. It's not fantastic or anything, but I mean, it's a pretty watchable TV show. And I've been on that show for like a month minimum. I'm like halfway through season 3. It's going to take me forever to watch that. That's why I've only reviewed limited series. If it's like 10 episodes, I can get through it. So I can do an episode or 2 a night. If it's like 50 episodes, a lot of people love that. Like if you're a casual goer, like or you watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of TV. Because to me, it's like if I watch Breaking Bad over again, that's like every night for like 50 days. I'm like, damn, man, it's going to take me forever to get through that. Which is probably a personal issue, but first world problems. They trolled everyone with Halloween Ends. Yeah, I mean, I get why people like it, is the weird thing again. I get why people like that movie because, hot take, as a horror movie fan, I don't think the Halloween franchise is very good. I mean, it's not bad, it's just not fantastic. I think there's like fantastic movies and moments, but we're going to be like Curse of Michael Myers, we're going to act like that movie's like high level art? Like it's not. Like he rappels down from the pipes. He does like a bicep curl down from the pipes. Like what? Michael Myers, man. At the same time, if I like a franchise, I'll watch the movies, read the book. Yeah, see, I have a very obsessive personality, like addictive personality. That's why you guys might even notice this in the way my channel operates. It's very manic. Like I can put out 10 reviews in a week, legitimately, but then I might go like a week where I'm not super interested in anything and I'm just kind of like checked out. I'm like recharging. I can get into the weeds. Like I can make a video every day for a week, easy. Like when I get into it, I'm like, yes. Same with franchises. That's why I really enjoyed doing the Alien franchise and Scream, by the way. Those videos didn't do absurdly well, like most of the Scream ones, but I still liked it because I hadn't seen those movies in 5 years minimum. Like I forgot a lot of, hey, what's up, Joel? How you doing? Darkroom? Yeah, my day's been great, man. I went out and I got some Korean food. Eating good, man. Netflix is like the McDonald's of streaming. True, but don't hate on McDonald's, okay? Everyone insults people about working at McDonald's. McDonald's is fine. McDonald's is not fantastic, but it's reliable. You might go to Burger King, that shit's going to be cold. You go to McDonald's, you're going to be in and out that line in 3 minutes. Well-oiled machine, but you know what you're getting. Halloween Ends wanted to bring in Corey. They could have had him not die, move the mask to the mantle, and have him take it. Okay, so quick synopsis, not to get into my deep dive of what I have wrong with that movie. Here's my issue with that movie. They brought Corey Cunningham in, but they did nothing to justify the fact that he was a central part of the movie. Because they bring him in, he's doing this weird little Starsky and Hutch shit where he's going around killing with Michael Myers, which is kind of funny, to be honest. They're buddies now after he jacked his mask. And then what I think they should have done, so spoiler alert, guys, if you've never seen Halloween Ends, you're probably lucky, but so at the end of the movie, the big conclusion when Michael Myers fights Jamie Lee Curtis in the house, and Corey's there, and then Mike kills Corey, I believe. I don't really remember. Somebody kills Corey. I think the movie would have been better if Jamie Lee Curtis got home after hearing something was happening, and she found her daughter, or her niece, is it? I forget the name of the character, the new final girl from the trilogy. If she was dead, if she got killed by Corey, and it like symbolized that even though you beat Michael Myers, just the fact that evil can be transferred can do like irreprehensible damage quickly. So like there was a big wound from the fact that this Corey doesn't do shit in the movies. The problem, he just exists to get killed. So it's like, why did he come in here? Or keep him alive and he goes off into either, and then we can do like a spinoff, like Season of the Witch, and now Corey's Michael Myers. But you can't have both. You can't bring in Corey and then just chicken shit out and cop out and then kill Corey. At that point, it's like, what's the point of the movie? Why did Corey come in here? Regal Unlimited is a lifesaver. Yeah, I've never been to Regal. So I don't know if it's any better. I'll be honest, I feel like AMC's like sitting in bricks. They need to upgrade those chairs. My answer, too expensive is priorities. How much is a beer concert tickets? Yeah. Dude, I almost made a video about this again, but I don't know how the algorithm's going to treat it, and I mostly do movie reviews, so I don't want to say I don't want to, but I don't know when to just make a video like ranting about theater etiquette. But hot take, I'm in the defense of theaters, like movie theaters. I don't think it's the movie theater's fault that a family of 4 goes to the movie theaters and buys 5 different combos and jawbreakers. I've been going to see every movie I see on this channel, and I almost never pay more than $10 unless I see it in prime time, like the day it comes out. I don't get popcorn, or I go on the free popcorn day. I just don't want to drink because it's going to make me piss anyways. But I know a lot of people do, but I mean, that's you can just smuggle it in. I mean, there's not even ushers at the places I go, like the AMC. I can just walk right in. I could just walk up the street right now and go see a movie. They don't even check the ticket stub. They're so low staff now. Like they go up and pay like, I don't know, like $75 for concessions for the new Star Wars. That's a you issue. That's a skill issue to me. Like I don't know. Like it's just a priority thing. Like I can see 10 movies for the price of those popcorns. I'm not doing that. AMC A-List is terrific. It allows me to take chances on movies. Yeah, okay, so this is something I have thought about. So there's a phenomenon in the human psyche. It's basically scarcity of choice. So it's proven if you give human beings too many choices, they don't pick anything or they're unfulfilled. So example of this, you go to a candle shop, there's 100 candles. You're never going to buy one because you're like, what the fuck? There's 100 candles. You don't know what to buy, which one smells the best. There's 3 candles, you're way more likely to buy one. Relate this to movies and media. You go on Netflix, half the people I know spend more time scrolling than picking movies, myself included. But like if you go to a movie theater, it's very simple. On Thursday, X, Y, and Z came out. Which one do I want to see of 1, 2, and 3? There's like a certain simplicity to like the old video store approach where you have so many things you can choose from. And I think that's a great thing about movie theater. So Tuner, for example, I wouldn't have seen that movie probably on streaming no time soon, but since it was out, saw it, really liked it. My wife works from home. When I get home from work, she always has the Hallmark Channel. If I see Lacey, yeah, it reminds me of whenever I go back and visit family, they always watch the ID channel. It's like Criminal Minds too, like Criminal Minds, whatever channel that sounds like 24/7 loop. I've seen every episode of Criminal Minds like 25 times. Yep, the movie's inexpensive. The food is. I'm home enough, and there's no way I'd be able to focus on the movie. Yeah. I'm glad you said that about turning your phone off. I legitimately, in 2026, use the movie theaters to decompress. Like, I love the fact that I don't care about this channel. I don't care about my job reaching out to me. I don't care about people sending me memes. It's like I get to, for 2 hours, go back to just zoned out. I love it. I love just, to me, this is a me thing. I don't have a problem with my phone like a lot of people, even though you might think so because of how fast I reply to comments because of notifications. But I am very immersive. Like I'm very emotionally driven when it comes to watching things. Like to me, the movie theater experience is everything in terms of like I legit lock in. I'm one of those people. Like I'm in. Like if I'm into a movie, I'm in it. Like at home, it just never gets there. There's people talking and vacuums. It just never gets there. Anybody watching Widow's Bay? No, but I thought about watching it because I heard like 10 people say that's like a sleeper hidden gem, and I was going to maybe review it. But again, I suck with TV shows. It takes me forever. But I almost started watching that. Stopping by to say your channel has helped me find obscure horror films. Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for watching, Jeffrey. You've been here a long time, man. I was just telling someone before you got here, I love putting you guys on the stuff that you guys have not seen. In fact, I mean, if it was up to me, and this is how YouTube worked, I would legitimately just review random shit all day. Like, there was a movie I watched 2 nights ago. I thought it was very good. And it was kind of similar to Obsession. It was on Amazon Prime. I've just been meaning to watch it forever. But I know, like, nobody cares or is talking about that, so there's no point. But I try to make those videos every once in a while that are, like, 10 lists or something that just kind of, you know, bring up things people have forgotten about and things like that. I try to do that. So hopefully you guys find some good ones. Dream. I'm currently just some unofficial novelization. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, thanks, man, for the subscriber milestone. I said this before already. I appreciate the hell out of any of you guys who have ever commented, who have ever stopped by a video, who have ever said a kind word. When I started this channel, I did not expect ever that I would even still be doing it, to be honest. And I did not expect anybody would watch me because I know it's weird. Nobody really feels good about their content. And I'm such like a kind of energetic person in the way I describe stuff. Like it can come off very offensive or confrontational because I'm just like, that movie fucking sucked. It's just the way it is. Like, it's just the way I am, like in like a joking way. But I will say this while he's in the chat. Brian in the chat is a very big reason I still have a YouTube channel. Like I remember I was making videos when I first started and I was like, this is awesome, man. Like I'm just talking off the cuff. Like these videos, they suck, by the way. My original videos, they're freaking terrible. But this dude would watch all of my videos and he'd comment the same way he does now, super invested. And he would just, he was just super engaged. Like he didn't care that the content was bad. He was listening to what I was saying. And like, that was refreshing that I was like, oh, there are people who don't, they're not just there for the 5-second opening. They're not there because your background looks bad or the lighting is bad or like he was legitimately listening to the content. So like, I was like, that was a big reason. Like when I had a couple of 3 to 5 of my initial regulars who kept coming back and I was like, oh, there actually are people on the internet who like this for what it is. It's not just like some flash in the pan thing. Yeah, so I never expected I'd ever get any milestones or make $1 off of this or anything. I was just like, I'm just going to talk about the shit I like with people who like it. I've oddly only been to California one time on a layover flight to Hawaii, and it looked nothing like I thought it was going to based on the movies, not the location I was in. Saw some weird people in the airport too. Been hearing great stuff about Widow's Bay. Apple's TV is the next streaming service I'm planning to get. Yeah, I have Netflix, Peacock, Apple TV, they're in Shudder and Paramount, which is weird. But I have Peacock, Netflix, Apple TV, all through my internet providers. So they just gave them to me. So that's why I have them, but I never use them. Like Peacock stinks. Worst platform ever. Every month I open it up, there's never anything there. Like I don't think they even add anything to that platform. Like, oh yeah, I have Hulu too, which I think is Disney Plus now. Apple TV is not, but Apple TV, my brother raves to me about Apple TV, like Severance and a couple of shows and movies. Like I still haven't seen F1, which everybody like loved last year. I just never got around to it. But I've been meaning to, but then I was kind of like, the way I view movies, I was like, is it fair to watch F1 at home? Because that movie seems so cool. I'm like, I almost hope they bring it back. Because I was on vacation in Florida when I watched Top Gun Maverick. And I watched it with my brother and his fiance, and they have a dog, and it was like a weird like I loved Top Gun Maverick. I've seen it one time though, and it was like in a crowded apartment on vacation. I was like, as much as I like this movie, it doesn't really do it justice. I need to see those movies when they put them on the big screen again. Ryan says, I'll get a popcorn and drink every once in a while. Yeah, fun fact, I used to work in a movie theater, so I've eaten like 5 million movie theater hot dogs in my life. And seen way too many movies for free. But yeah, I don't know. I've drank so many ices in my life. Like, I'm not a popcorn guy. I mean, I like popcorn, but I'm not fanatical about it. Like every time. Okay, so when I watch movies at home, I'm a snacker. I'm like, I need a volume snack, like pretzels or something, because I just want to eat. Like today, when I end this live, I'm going to watch a movie and I'm going to smash the rest of my cookie dough ice cream I have. I've been looking forward to that all day. But I'm like, I'm going to make some popcorn. And I always get halfway through the bowl and I'm just like, dude, I'm sick of this shit. Like every single time. Like I love the idea of popcorn more. Please, please, please make a video about theater etiquette. I had to walk out of Hokum. So here's the weird thing I said. So movie theater etiquette, I can honestly say I almost never have a bad movie experience. I know that's like super radical to say now. I mean, there's 2 movies that come to mind, and I'm going to share this story because I'll share 3 stories, real quick synopsis of that I remember from the whole time I've been on this channel. Every other movie I've reviewed, I've had no issues. Like during these movies, like Undertones, nothing. Backrooms, I could hear a pin drop, probably because everybody was snoring, to be honest. But yeah, so I did a review of The Damned, this like old horror movie in the snow. There was this old drunk guy mumbling to himself in the theater the whole time, and I thought he was part of the crew. Arr, arr. And I was like, the fuck is that noise? Like, it's not, there's nobody even, I was like, oh shit, there's a guy in the shadows. So that was weird. It kind of added to my experience though, because it was like so fitting. Then I watched a movie called The Man in the White Van, and I almost walked out of that movie. In fact, I actually missed 20 minutes of it, which is why it's a very brief review, because there was this guy who was sitting there just mashing the button of his chair, like click, 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 and he wouldn't stop, and he was giggling. And there was this guy above me, like, shut the fuck, dude, like, stop it. And he was like, haha, it's so funny to click the button. And eventually I went and got somebody, and I was like, I'll throw him out, bro. Like, I used to throw kids out of the theater. So, like, they threw these kids out, but I missed a lot of the movie, so I was like, okay, it's stupid. Like, but I was like, dude, like, nobody's going to speak up. I'll speak up, and I never speak up because I never have to. And third, this is my favorite one. I saw the movie Heretic. This guy, we're in the middle of the movie. He just starts playing Migos, the rappers, like on Spotify in the middle of the fucking theater. It's like half full. And there's a bunch of old people and stuff there watching this movie too. It's like this religious thriller. And he's just sitting there, he's giggling to himself. Somebody said, shut the fuck up. Like they yelled it. And I'm like, dude, like we about to witness a fight? And like, so nothing happens for 10 minutes. So like, he starts playing music again. And I'm not talking like, this shit is like, he's at a barbecue. Like it's just straight up, like full volume in the middle of the conversation about Monopoly in that movie. This guy gets up and says, I told you to shut the fuck up. And he smashes an icy on his head right in the middle. So again, Heretic, 10 minutes of Heretic was like security fighting this guy in the middle of my theater. So those are the 3 times that come to mind. But other than that, yeah, I have no problems. None of the movies I've reviewed. Obsession, you could do a pin drop. But I also kind of strategically, both for my channel and for me, I go see movies early, like 4 to 7 usually. I almost never go see a movie at like Friday at 7. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I see movies like right after work time when nobody's there yet. Here's a question. When you go to the theater, do I have a preference where I sit? No, I would say middle right-ish or... Okay, so you know you have the nosebleeds, or how they call them, the suicide seats, like the front section, where it's like way too, like, where you're like, your neck's fucking cracked. I never sit in those. I don't know how anybody does. I sit like 5 rows up from that on the upper echelon. So it's like, if there's 20 rows, I'm like 5 rows up usually, if I can get it. And to be honest, unless the movie's super crowded, I can usually get my pick of the litter like every time. Like it's hardly ever. The only movies, Backrooms and Obsessions, like I legit had to pick. Like I was like, oh shit. Like, I showed up for Obsession before I saw it and reviewed it on this for the channel, and like 99% was sold out. And I was like, what? What are we doing? But it's kind of cool if it works, but you just get scared every time that you're going to be sitting next to like a snoring guy or something. I love getting my popcorn and soda, the sweet snack. My theater chain has rewards. Yeah, I just go to the dollar store and I just buy, what are they called? Blanking. Sour Patch Kids. I sneak them in. Hello, Sean. Nice to see you. Hey, what's up, Steve? How you doing? Thank you for the mention. Appreciate. Yeah, you're one of the OGs, bro. There's like 5 people, and to be honest, 5 OGs, and like I used to have like 10, but a couple of them I think have since passed on from the channel because they started getting very grifty. Like they were just like, they were angry all the time, and I kind of stopped like giving into it. I was kind of like, you know, I'm not gonna. All they did was complain about everybody, and I was like, I don't know. They said that movie sucked, and I was like, I liked it. Like, I don't know. And then they just started to leave, I think, like some of the other OGs, because I don't think I was reciprocating the way they wanted. Yes, we love what you do. Thank you, man. Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I hope it comes off this way, or I'd be interested to hear the thought from your end. I always think about it like this. Like whenever I watch content or a podcast or something, sometimes I'll have like a really good input and I'm like, yes, like, or no, like, what is that guy talking about? And then I'll reply and I'll say like, yeah, in my opinion, like almost the comment you said, Drew. And then nobody replies. It's just like a heart. And it's like, what the fuck's the point of even engaging if nobody even has conversation? Now, I will say this. It does get hard sometimes on some of these videos. Like I'll just like check my phone after the gym and I'm like, whoa, my God, like 40 notifications. I just like machine gun them down. But yeah, I try to actually at least reciprocate conversation, like make it known to you guys, like I actually care about, because to be honest, again, I've said this, that's part of the reason I started this channel. You know, I make it known. I'm confident in my opinions so much I can put them on the internet. I mean, if you guys agree, disagree, I'll never take it personally. I'm just talking about the stuff the way I perceive it. If you guys hate everything I say, it's never personal. Never. A lot of people that don't know the channel are just random people on the internet. They make it personal. But no, it's like I just like to converse about stuff and talk about why people like things. And it's almost not even easy to do that on YouTube, I've come to learn. It's easier to do that like what we're doing now. Because YouTube, you have like this weird balance you're doing where you're trying to create authentic content, but you're also trying to like hook everybody. This TikTok brain rot error where the first 5 seconds, you can look at your analytics and sometimes like 80% stopped watching within 30 seconds. Like they didn't even get to the meat and potatoes, what you're saying. So long form and comment section gives me the best way of actually reaching out. kind of a Drew $2 super chat. Appreciate the hell out of you, man. Especially the fact that you just found me, man. Thanks for bringing the quality. I try. I'll tell you guys this as well. I don't take it lightly again. I know time is like the most precious thing we have. I know what it feels like to like watch a content creator or watch them a lot and then start like following them. I try to make good content. Now, sometimes I watch my reviews, and this is another thing from the creator side. Maybe Ryan, if you know this as well. It's very hard to make your best version of content. And even if you think you do at the time, like you're editing, you never feel like that. You're never content. It's crazy how that works. When you start off, you're just lax. Now there's like a weird professionalism to it where like I don't want to let people down and make bad content. But even then, I know I haven't made my best content. So like I'm always trying to find new little things or better edits, or it's hard. It's definitely hard, and it definitely takes a lot of reps, but it's definitely on a lot of creative people's minds where it's like, the more you do it, the more you start to really take it seriously. And I did not expect that to be a thing. I remember I went to see a movie called Chevalier, and this guy, is that the one about like the piano player or like the slave owner or something? It looked really artsy, and then nobody heard anything about it. I saw The Imitation Game, that movie that won a bunch of Oscars, and there was this old guy 2 seats from me just snoring his ass off. Like he just like sleep apnea snore. So that's another memorable one. 1408 too, I had 2 people fist fight in the middle of the aisles. Brian, I like Apple TV, pretty much only subscribe. Yep. I saw The Plague. I didn't see The Plague. I heard numerous people. Okay, so there's like, it's weird. Like, so given the fact that obviously I'm a horror fan always, I like 10 different YouTubers. Like I've watched for a long time, off and on, not as much anymore. But like half of them said The Plague was fantastic. The other half said it was terrible. So I was like, I'll get around to it. I mean, I think I had other stuff going on, but it's one of those movies, like if it comes to like Hulu or something, I'm definitely going to watch it because I heard some people say this movie's like fantastic. And as somebody who's dealt with bullying before or has seen others be bullied, that really irks me. So like that movie might be a hard watch for me. When I watch movies or TV at home, aside from the family, I go to my room, turn on the lights. Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos who makes people close the blinds and stuff during the day. Like I really think, I think as with everything in life, like movies, the amount of effort you put in is reciprocated. If you don't care at all, like you throw a movie on when you're on your phone, the movie's going to be mid every single time. If you can get like a good environment, you get some good discussion going, maybe like you can really like empathize with the character, you can get some really good experiences. Hey Mel, how you been? Mel fell off the earth. Where's everybody? Say hi to Mel. I know Mel's into off campus now. I see it on Prime every time and I think of her tweets. Her YouTube shorts. Backrooms was super crowded. Backrooms was crazy because people were dressed up, and I didn't even think they let costumes into the theater anymore. That was definitely very weird. Like I did not expect people to have costumes on. I thought they got rid of that after the old the Dark Knight thing. There are many YouTubers that never comment back. I don't understand it. You made the content edited. Because I'm gonna be honest with you and keep it a buck. Like I always use that saying. I stole that saying, by the way, but I really like it. I think this is again, I'd be interested to hear your guys' perspective. Now that I'm on this side of it, and I don't want to sound like I'm like the big professional boss and you guys are the consumers, it's very easy for me to tell if a person's like passionate about anything or if they're just a fucking engagement baiter. Like just by the thumbnails, just by the way they engage with comments, there are people doing this for side income 100%. And you can kind of feel it because there's not a whole lot of organic growth. Like some channels that kind of hover, they're just there. Like a lot of people, you probably can think of channels that fit that idea in your mind. And there's no knock on anybody. Like I have a small channel, but it's like, you can sense the care. It's like the moment the video comes up, it's like, did it make a lot of money? Not okay, next video. Like there's no effort to engage. It's simply, I put my stuff on the internet and I've been doing it for a long time, so I just do it. I feel that. Like I literally feel that sometimes when I watch people on. It's weird to me too. Yeah. If you're a huge YouTuber, and I'll say this, I thought about, and it's not to that point yet, but there's been some videos like during the height of 28 years later, I still get comments all the time on that video because that video has like 30,000 views or something. It's crazy. And I don't even think that's a good video. So that goes to show you it doesn't make any sense. But there was a time where I got like 50 comments a day to that movie. And as you guys know, the comments half the time are like the same thing over and over and over again. So it's like, if I was a big YouTuber that had like 100,000 subs and my comments were like that every day, yeah, I'd probably start to get a little bit pickier because I do nothing but reply to comments. Like, all I did when I watched football during that time, I was watching football. I was like, sit on my phone the whole time, and I was like, dang, man, the comments are crazy. I liked it, but I mean, it's crazy, like, to not be able to decompress. Plus the movies they've released, the theater, Fly Me to the Moon. Fly Me to the Moon was fantastic. I really liked that movie, and it was another one of those movies I saw early, and I was like, what's Fly Me to the Moon? But I liked it, and I'm starting to realize, guys, I might be a sap. I might be a sap, a loveless sap, because like a lot of these movies with like a rom-com angle, I'm digging. The older I get, the more I dig it. If it's done well, of course. I agree, and I love to converse with you and the OGs on your channel. I value your opinions, make good content. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I never want anybody to ever feel indebted, like a parasocial thing where it's like, it's Sean, I got... Nah, if you think the content's not good, like, you know, it's not, there's nothing to input, it's fine. Like, it's just like that. I mean, let me say this. Like, I know that even these conversations, like, I know, like, like from both sides, like, every creator knows, even the big creators, they know who's in it, like, who's engaged, who loves this stuff. I think everybody has that. And I think there's something, like, special about, like, the first, like, the core of people. There's a couple other people who aren't in here. Like, I know if they hopped in immediately. I recognize your pictures, your names. I'm like, oh, it's Steve. Like, I see comments all the time. So it's funny. Another thing, I never expected that when I did YouTube. I was like, kind of what you're saying, Ryan, where it's like, in a weird way, I never expected to make friends in any capacity, like have any like friendly banter. I was like, I'm going to make some content and then I'm going to move on. And like, I didn't expect that I would ever like legitimately be talking to the same people for so long and share channel information. And like, it's cool. It's a really fun, like refreshing part of this. I did not expect it was ever going to be a thing at all. One of the funnest things, to be honest, is like the minor like conversations and friendships that are consistencies. It's like when I started, I was like, why do I care about what other people are doing? Like, I've already watched 1,000 reviews in my life and all this stuff, and then now it's kind of cool. I'm like, I wonder what Ryan thought of the movie. And like, even if we don't agree, I'm just kind of interested because everybody has their own little spin and how they approach it. He's always going to tackle the cinematography. I'm always like, I wonder what Ryan thought. That's why, like, now it's kind of cool that I can be like, I think he's going to like this movie. Like, I think he's going to really like Tuner because I know the type of movies he likes from his other reviews. So kind of something fun. Many times I had to re-record. Yeah. See, I started, so fun fact for you guys. When I started off, I didn't have a script, but I had like bullet points. And I was like, but at the same time, when you start off doing anything like this, I kind of didn't know how to present any of my own ideas because I wasn't confident in how to talk like to a camera, which is still kind of weird even doing this now, but you get a lot better at it. And I was doing that and I was kind of like thinking about it, like, how would he say it? Right? Maybe I'd see another review and then their review would blend into mine. So I don't watch reviews ever now before I do my own. And like, I would re-record it or I'd like re-say the same lines and I'd take the best bits. I try not to even do that anymore because again, there's like a perfectionism thing where like, it's never good enough if you do that. And 99% of all of my reviews are just straight off the cuff, like we're talking now. And it might sound a little bit different because my mind moves very fast. So maybe I'm trying to like talk out my thoughts. Like they're just all jumbled. So it's kind of like, okay, how do I, but I don't even write a script anymore. I just hit record and boom, we wing it. Now, sometimes I have like a bit maybe in my head, like a joke that kind of was like, it just came into my mind watching the movie. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense in the context of this movie. But 99% of stuff is just straight off the cuff. Like I don't even care anymore. I don't. It's one of those things, generic saying, those who mind don't matter, those who don't mind matter, whatever. I think I fucked that up. Y'all, I went to the Backrooms knowing it wouldn't be for me. Yeah, the Backrooms, yeah, the problem is you can't make a short about that. They're going to gang up on you with baseball bats. Don't say you hate the Backrooms. They are vicious. Definitely Drew, I didn't even go to the bathroom. Posted a few movie reviews this year. Yeah, I don't want to say I feel bad. YouTube is a fickle thing because it doesn't feel like it makes any sense. Like I know anybody who makes anything obviously cares about making it, especially smaller channels. Why would anybody who's not monetized make anything? Essentially, it's like you're doing unpaid labor. So to see people put out 4 reviews and they get like 20 views, I think that's kind of bullshit. It's very tribal. I think like there's a lot of good. I've started to do that more just because everybody does that. You go, oh, the video has like 18 views. I'm not going to watch it. Sometimes I click on like small channels. I actually just traded, I just subbed to a guy the other day who has a horror channel. It's like 1,000. I really liked his video. It was like 40 minutes long. I was like, this guy's saying some honest stuff. I didn't agree with him at all. Like he liked the movie Passenger, but I was like, he's kind of spitting. Like this guy's making some sense. And I just wish more small channels got exposure. 100% Brian, I fought to get my kid to be able to consume movies that way. Yeah, dude. That's like my, you know, those like dating app love languages when there's like physical touch. Mine is like, do you actually engage with the movies I show you? That's like my love language. Like, I'm like the type of person, when I hear a song I really enjoy, I send it to people. I go like, dude, like, you need, this song is a banger. So it bothers me, not even for me in a selfish way. It bothers me that other people can't have the experience or feel the same way that I feel about it. Like I wish that they could understand like how good it is if you can like really sink your teeth into something, like a good book or a movie. I feel like going to the movies, your version of church. I just think nowadays everybody needs something to decompress. The world is crazy, it's fast. Everybody needs to have something they love. And that's something I've really taken seriously in the past year or so, past couple of years because of life circumstances. I try not to spend time anymore on shit I don't like I don't care about. I want to hear what people like. I want to talk about what I like. I want to like spread passion. I don't want to sit here and fester like, oh, this is the worst. I'll do movie reviews. I mean, I'm still going to be like critical, but I mean, I don't want to sit and just make like it rage bait content at all. Like, I just like to just, you know, I love the movies. I love going to the movies. I wish more people felt that way. Although I think movies are doing good now. I think Obsession proved that a lot of the younger generation likes movies. Next movie I'm seeing, Scary Movie 6. Yeah, I think they might be doing Scary Movie 6 at the mystery showing on Monday because they're doing a lot of marketing for it. And yeah, I talked about it a little bit. I'm a little bit worried that it's going to be all the best bits in the trailer. But I'm still hopeful because the Wayans brothers are geniuses. One of your best friends you met off here? Yeah, that's so cool, dude. It's so cool. I'm related to movies. I forget. Did you like Life of Chuck, Ryan? I've talked about that movie a lot, and it's funny because I didn't say that movie was like the greatest film I've ever seen, but I did really like Life of Chuck. And there's something so profound about that movie. Like, even in the context of this YouTube chat, like the idea that all your life is essentially made of is like minor occurrences with people, like shared moments. I think about that a lot. I think about that. Like, I'm a very existential person. I think about the idea. It's so cool. If you never decided to make a YouTube channel, you never meet one of your best friends. That's crazy to me. Like the way the domino effects works of life is crazy to me. It just goes to show you, you never know. You never know. 2 of them are grown. Ooh. Yeah, YouTube makes no sense at all. For better and worse, it is kind of cool that you can make a video that's not very good and it can like pop off, but it's also kind of bad when you're like, I'm in the mood to talk about this. People say they want to talk about it and nobody seems to want it, or it's like the impressions. That was a big thing that happened to me. I think there's like a fruit fly flying around me. What the heck? Surprisingly, some people are just not movie people. Yeah, but here's my rebuttal to that. I wish so you don't gotta like movies. You don't gotta like games. You don't gotta like books. I just wish more people liked things or were passionate about things that wasn't just consumption. Like, I'm not going to say watching movies is this awesome hobby where it's like, I'm super enlightened. Look at me, guys. I've seen every movie. I'm a cinephile. But I do think there is something to say about really just knowing your identity, like knowing what you love, not just scrolling TikTok. Like that's not a hobby. That's you're killing time. Like if I ask you, what do you like you got to be able to tell me, like, what do you like? Don't just be like, oh, I like laughing. Well, no shit. Like you're a human being. Like, what do you like? Like everybody's got something they get fired up about. My thing's movies. And I wish more people did that. So it's not a movie thing. Nowadays it feels like everything's very easy. Like everybody just wants like very basic stuff. It's like, no, there's something cool about, 10 years down the line doing music and becoming awesome at music or something. Like I love that. I love talking to people who are into stuff like that. Yeah, Life of Chuck, I did enjoy. Thanks, Brian. Sean, more off the cuff videos are a good thing. If the person actually cares, yeah, that's my thing. I actually don't struggle with that as much as this chat probably makes it sound. Like to me, like a lot of the time, like I've kind of just accepted that there's a lot of really cool people on YouTube, they're followers, and then there's a lot of people who are kind of, I don't want to say they come and go, but like you as a subscriber, like to other channels. Like I don't watch every piece of content everybody I know makes. So they kind of drift in and out as things resonate with them. So you can't really always perfectly appease that. Your regulars are going to be your regulars. You have other people who, again, when it's familiar, when it's something appealing to them, they watch, which is fair. It's human. You can't really force anybody to. So I just try to find a branch, like a blend of modern stuff that's kind of relatable, people are into, things I'm into with, again, like on a spectrum, like if I'm into like the most obscure shit that none of you guys are going to like, I'm not going to share it. But if I can find a movie, again, like a video like 5 movies similar to Obsession, and I know all of you guys like Obsession, then yeah, I think that works. Like, but I've also really tried, I will say this, make this clear. I've seen a lot of channels and I know the trajectory of content creation. Straight up, guys. If I wanted to make videos like this video we're doing now, and all it was rage bait, my channel would probably be doing a lot like bigger, but I don't want to do that. And I never want to do that. And I have no interest in doing that. I have no interest of taking a hobby of mine and just starting to shit out angry content. And I know that is like the meta to just talk about bad Disney movies and stuff. Like, nah, I have no interest. Again, it's not my thing. There's plenty of channels that will just crap on every new movie. And I do enjoy a good rant. I do enjoy a good rant about a movie I don't like and just get it out of the system. That's about as far as it goes. I don't want to make 15 videos about Passenger because the video did well and just talk about how bad horror is and say things I don't fully believe, because I'm a pretty, like that video I did about Obsession, I'm a pretty gray person in general on most things. Even my reviews, like, enjoyed Life of Chuck. Yep. I've tried to get a lot of people to watch Life of Chuck. Unfortunately for Life of Chuck, I think that poster is terrible. I don't think it sells what the movie is. I think it's dumb. Like the trailer, it's really bad. Like if it was better, I think more people would have watched it. Even me, that's another movie I was not excited about, Life of Chuck. And I saw it, like, this movie's fantastic, but it didn't sell me on it. Rarely run into people like that. People that like horror. Yeah, I realized from a very young age, here's a story time, that I am a weird guy, kind of, when it comes to what I'm into. I'm very macabre. Like you can see behind me somewhere, there's a Nightmare Before Christmas blanket, like topper. And I have a tattoo that's like all horror based. I'm into the spooky shit. I'm a spooky season guy, always have been. I've done like a bunch of practical effects. I've done like special effects makeup for Halloween costumes, like zombie bites and crazy. Like I went all out. And I've known from a very long time, I am into the spooky stuff. Like I love the feeling of being scared. I used to go to a haunted house like every year. I would just like everyone, like I'm always looking. Like horror shorts type of stuff. And I realized very early on though, that not a lot of people are into that. Like that's kind of taboo. It's a lot less taboo now, as you're seeing with Obsession. But for a very long time, it was you were kind of in like the cool kids club or the weirdo club, depending on which side you saw it in. You're like, oh, you're a horror movie fan. Like you just like to watch people die. And now it's taken a little bit more seriously. But spooky season has always been my thing. Halloween's my favorite holiday by far. I love dressing up. Even to this day, I dress up when I hang out with family. We scare the kids. Like I do that every year, hand out candy and scare the kids because nobody trick-or-treats anymore. Again, dead holiday kind of. So it's like, got to give these kids some memory. I remember going around getting 5 bags of candy. I loved Halloween so much. And But to piggyback to your comments, like, yeah, I hardly run into people who like horror too. Like, it's in the real world, like, I am the horror guy. Like, if somebody, I have coworkers who know this, they message me and they'll be like, yeah, what's a good horror movie? Because they all know, like, this guy's seen everything. So that's another reason to do YouTube, kind of. It's like, I was like, there's a community out there somewhere. I just don't know any of them. I know like 2 people, they watch the Conjuring movies occasionally. I've actually never been to New Orleans. But if you want to hear a funny story, I have one about New Orleans. But also the weather ruins Halloween. Yeah, the weather's terrible on Halloween now. It like rains every time. Oh, Passenger, you enjoyed it quite a bit. Not terribly special. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Passenger. If Passenger would have came out like 10 years ago, I don't think I would have been bad on it. In fact, if I was a teenager, I might have been high on that movie. I'd be like, this movie's pretty cool. Like, it's pretty freaky. Now, though, I don't think movies need to be like bigger than they are, but I think now the standard of horror is a lot higher. So, for example, like a lot of people will talk about what their favorite movies are, and they'll say like, or the scariest movies. And again, scares are subjective. They'll say stuff like The Exorcist is the scariest movie, or they'll say like House on Haunted Hill from the 60s or something. To me, this is a problem I have with older movies. Like, I really enjoy a lot of old movies. And this is a blind spot for me where I haven't seen a lot of old movies. I love the technical aspect of movies, like to the point I probably have never conveyed on this channel. I am the biggest film nerd ever when it comes to like lighting and building of a scare. To the point, there's a shitty movie that came out like a decade ago with what's her name? I don't know. But the Lazarus Effect, that movie where they bring that girl back from the dead, it's like a PG-13 movie. That movie sucks. But there's a scene in that movie that I think is fantastic related to a camera. And I always have put that in the memory bank. And I was like, ooh, that is a good scene. So my brain is just composed of like all of these great moments to generate scares. So I have like a bunch of ideas in my head related to like short stories and things where I'm like, oh, I would do it like this. So like to me, there's a lot of movies. I'll use Undertone as an example again, that a lot of people hated for good reason. If they don't like the movie, I completely get it. Where I'm watching some technical things and I'm like, if you did that differently or did that, like, ooh, that's good. Like I talked about this in the Obsession video, where Curry Barker says that nowadays he doesn't make jump scares anymore, but he has what he calls a modern jump scare where audience members, they look at something and just go, I don't like that. Like something's wrong with that. And that was the perfect way to articulate how I view horror. Like things like that. Like the Passenger thing, relating back to Passenger nowadays. Like to me, Passenger doesn't have any of that. That's why I didn't like it. Like I knew every scene immediately. Like it was like the guy's like, and then there's something behind him. It's like, no shit. That's like a 2000s jump scare. Like movies like Obsession, they really reinvent the way you view scares. Like your eyes are looking and you're very unsettled. And then it'll look and they're like, there's nothing there. Then you'll look back and there's nothing there. And you're like, they're fucking with me. Like, I know it's coming, but this is why I love Damian McCarthy, the guy who does Hokum and Oddity. Every movie he's ever done, I stare at the blank space on the screen and I go like, that's happening. Like that is happening 100%. And he still makes me jump 3 times a movie. So I just go, did it again, dude. A long-winded answer related to Passenger. But yeah, like old stuff I think is good in a different way. Like those early 2000s cheesy movies, like those jump scare movies. But they don't hold up that well in terms of scary. Like I don't think there's a single movie I would tell you from that whole era of like the 90s to like the early 2000s that's even remotely scary. That's why we're calling them all campy now. Like the scores they use, the acting, like those movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer, like they're just not scary. Like the way they're filmed, they're not meant to be scary. They're almost thrillers. And that's kind of how I felt about Passenger. It just felt like they just sucked it from like the 2000s and threw it. So I'm watching the movie and I'm like, he's behind the tree. Oh, he's behind the tree. They're spinning the projector, right? It's a really cool scene, but I'm just like, I mean, I know his face is going to be there. Like, why are they why is she spinning a projector like a fire hose in the middle of the forest? Like, it's just so obvious. I live in a neighborhood with mainly elderly people. Yeah, dude, you barely get trick or treat. Yeah, I found that out when I was in Coral Gables, Florida, what it would be like to live in a neighborhood like that, because it was like a super bougie area. Now, like, this is kind of odd. So muggy here that no one can stand to do anything. And makeup runs horribly in mosquito. Yeah, I've heard that mosquitoes and stuff, and I found this out when I was in Tennessee, that like the mosquitoes are terrible. Okay, so I'll give you a cliff notes of my New Orleans story. So this is not on my behalf. This is on behalf of my uncle. So he used to go down there for Mardi Gras, and he'd go down like Bourbon Street and stuff, which is apparently fucking crazy because it's, you know, Bourbon Street. We all know the stories. And and he's a drinker, he's a smoker, so he's bar hopping, having a good old time, and he's outside. I'll never forget this story. He's outside this bar and he's smoking with like the regulars or whatever, and he's just chatting it up, and they're just like, "Hey, how's your night going?" And he said that this bum got out of a manhole, and he climbed up, and then afterwards a girl came up, and she was in like lingerie, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "You guys want to turn?" And I was like, that sounds like the most New Orleans Bourbon Street story I've ever heard in my life, man. So he goes, "Yeah, man, Bourbon Street's its own beast, man." I'm not in Florida now. I used to be. Right now I'm in Michigan. But I'm probably going to be in Florida soon. I remember when Paranormal Activity was groundbreaking for me, kept watching on screen, thinking something is going to move. Yeah, like found footage works like that, right? Like as a whole, found footage. It was so good because we didn't know how found footage worked. The idea that the camera would go, "Oh, there's nothing there," and then the camera would turn, and you know that camera's going to be looking at something. But I don't think found footage really ever adapted. I think found footage, like, it's still... Now, there's scenes in the Backrooms I thought were fantastic with found footage. Like, when they go down that chute, and there's, like, that face in the pile of laundry, I was like, I don't fucking like that. But found footage now is very simple. Like, they just stall the movie, you get to the final 20 minutes, and it's just jump scare simulators where the camera turns. And, again, this is stuff we got from the original Paranormal Activity, so they have never really evolved. But there's versions of found footage that are very good. Like, I actually really liked the Backrooms. Like, some of the found footage of the Backrooms was by far the best. Even the, like, naturally grainy stuff, I was like, yes. Damian McCarthy's so good with matchmaking. Yes, Damian McCarthy's a genius. I tried to reach out to him legitimately. I wanted to talk to him so badly because he's Irish. First off, I'm Irish as well. And I just love his brand of horror. Everybody's got their own thing. I love the fact that his movies are never lazy horror. They're like big stories. They're murder mysteries. I love the fact that you have to think your way through the movies. Like, what's the point of this movie? Like, what's going on here? Like, a lot of horror movies, you're just kind of like, again, you're just expecting jumps. Nah, his movies they're deep, kind of. I like that. I thought 1408 was rather scary. I thought the trailer for that movie looked absolutely terrifying. But as I just told somebody before you entered this chat, I saw that movie in a movie theater where two people fought in the middle of the aisle. So I don't remember a whole lot about 1408. There was a fist fight in my theater. Yeah, that's so New Orleans. Yeah, my uncle was laughing his ass off. He goes, "Yeah, man, the shit you'll see in Bourbon Street." So that's my only memory of New Orleans. Like, I have memories of Tennessee, watching people get, like harpooned out of bars when I was bar crawling. They do not care. If you ever come to Florida, you got to catch something. Oh, 100%. Depends where you're at. Like, I'm probably going to go down there soon. I don't know why. Like, I mean, like, I have relatives that live down there, but I don't even know. They, like, bought a house somewhere. I haven't talked to them in a while. I mean, life is busy, man. But we're supposed to go down there and, like, meet a kid, so. We're getting so many good directors on horror. Yeah, so this is like a hot take to some degree. Everybody's analyzing why we're getting YouTubers and all that stuff. I think the reason YouTube is translating to the big screen so much is a couple of reasons. One, they know their audience, because to make a brand on here, even as I've learned in my spare time, it's hard. Like, you have to really know what people want, and you have to know how to hook them. And since YouTube, if you don't make something good within 30 seconds, everybody leaves, you have to know how to pace your video in a way where people stay engaged, hence Obsession. Every scene of that movie felt good. Like, it didn't feel like it had filler, because if that was a YouTube video, people would click off. That's one. Two, I think you have a lot of younger, fresher voices. People like me who view horror movies a little bit differently. Now, traditional voices, imagine like Spielberg, he has his way of making movies and they're great. But the younger generation, they find different things scary. They find more creative uses in some situations, like to write these asinine risk-taking stories, like Barbarian. Like if Spielberg wrote that, they think that guy had dementia. Like he doesn't have the liberty of making a movie like that. He's too established. Like he'd never take that risk. And then 3, I think the younger generation, because they've already made stuff and they've been with cameras for like 20 years because they were raised on technology, is really good at technical filmmaking. That's why Kane Parsons from the Backrooms, as much as I kind of didn't like it in a lot of ways, that's a phenomenally made movie. Do not get me wrong. This guy's 20 years old. He made a movie that, if let's put it like this, if the Backrooms came out in 1960, that shit would be heralded as The Exorcist. They go, that's the scariest movie ever made. Like how good that movie is made technically. The movie itself, you can debate it, but the way it looks and it's filmed, beautiful movie for a 20-year-old. Because he's been on a camera since he's like 12, probably. I mean, the guy has like 8 years expertise, maybe even longer. You haven't seen Caveat or Oddity, Brian? What the hell, bro? Dude, watch Oddity tonight. It's on Hulu. Caveat is on Tubi, I believe. Watch one of them. They're both weird in their own ways. Oddity is kind of a murder mystery. Caveat is this really weird story where this guy is house sitting in this house where it's kind of supernatural, and he's locked to the floor that doesn't allow him to go to all of the house. So he's got like this vest on. It's very strange. Congrats on 1.62. Thanks, VA. I appreciate that a lot, man. Yeah, I was just talking a little bit earlier about how the sub number's wild to me. I never expected I'd get 10 subs, let alone this many. Hokum felt like an elevated haunted house jump scare fest in a good way. The jump scares were so good. Yeah, Hokum, like I heard people say that they didn't like that Hokum was not enough jump scares. Like they wanted more of that, like that stuff from the TV. And I agree to some extent, but I like how committed Damian McCarthy is to the point of the movie. Like the point of the movie is the story and the horror comes second. And I described it as obsession in Obsession. It makes the movie feel a lot more grounded. Like there's stakes to the movie. Because the hardest thing for a director to do is make you in a very limited time either like care about the character or just care about anything besides the scares. Like the moment you lose an audience, they're just like, all right, when's the next jump scare? That movie is like, I almost said in the middle, it's like too scary. It's like weird. For like 30 minutes in a row, it's just like this adrenaline pump where it's like, oh my God, this guy's going to get cooked. Ryan, I love Oddity and Caveat. I've always argued with myself about which one. I think Oddity's better personally. And I think he'd probably say that too, just because Caveat's a little bit more raw. But Caveat has 2 or 3 diaper moments. We'll leave it at that. Like Caveat is really good. Yeah, if you like Hokum, Hokum is more of the same. Like if you like Hokum, Oddity and Caveat are literally like the same type of movie. They're just different stories. The same way they're filmed, some of the same cast, same scare setups. Very good. Oddity. Yeah, Oddity, man. Oh my God. I've shown 4 people Oddity. I love Oddity. I still don't get why Barbarian is not out. Because, yeah, I saw that movie with another YouTuber. I can't believe it's been 4 years. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why they're gatekeeping. It's like, imagine you walked into a store. You had people walk into a Taco Bell. It literally is Taco Bell. Imagine you walked into Taco Bell and like, yo, give me a Mexican pizza. Like, nah, dude, we don't have it. And like, for like 6 months, they said that. And then randomly, it's like, fine, we'll give you the Mexican pizza. That's happened at like every store ever. Like supply and demand. Like, there's nobody who can produce copies of Barbarian at all. Come on, man. Like, Barbarian's when I was, and it has such a cool concept. You could do with like the shoot going down from the poster. You can make such a cool steelbook. Yeah, Milk and Cereal is a little bit different. That is by The Obsession Guy. It's on YouTube, so you can just watch it for free. I thought that was phenomenal as well. And I'm open. You want to know why? Because Milk and Cereal is what Obsession is, but it's found footage. It's like, you think you know what that movie is going to be, but it's got that same weird, uncomfortable vibe that you feel watching Obsession where you're just kind of like, I don't like this. It's got a lot of that in it. So you can see, and if you've never seen it as well, hold on, let me pull it up. There's what's it called? Let me see if I can find it. There's a movie there's a short film on YouTube called The Chair by Cody Barker, which is very unsettling. There's one called Warnings, which is very unsettling. And I watched one the other day that was very good too. Can't think of what it's called. It might be called like Mother. That's very good. For 5 minutes, like you can see the potential written in his stuff. You'll be like, okay, like I see why this guy's popular. Damien McCarthy outs. Easter eggs on his film. Yeah, I liked how an oddity, like the oddity shop, has the rabbit and stuff. Yeah. Oddity's another one though, and I'm vocal about this. Like my theater experience was great. There was like 5 or 10 other people. I was super immersed. I jumped out of my skin for like 5 jump scares, and I just thought all of the major moments where you're supposed to get a response, they all really worked. And I was like, I was just really immersed in that movie. So I did rewatch it at home with somebody, and I don't think it was nearly as good during the day and stuff. But I think it's very good. Like if you're in the mood for like a legitimately creepy movie at night. Horror barbarian copy called Dolly. Dude, I hated Dolly, man. I was in the minority. I didn't hear anything about the movie. I could not stand that movie. Again, beautiful looking movie. I like like the film usage, how it feels like it's Texas Chainsaw, but it did not work. I mean, that movie to me felt like they had 10 minutes of movie and they just were just ringing you overhead over and over again with the same. Like there's a scene where the big Dolly character is trying to like breastfeed a character and it's like 10 minutes long. Like, okay, like it's weird, but it's like the fuck. Like, is there a point to this movie? I struggle with that a lot, which is weird because some movies I like, they're weird. Like Ash had no point, and I liked that movie. But every once in a while, I just get the point. I'm like, what is the point of this movie? What is the point? Kind of like what Lee Cronin, dude. Lee Cronin's The Mummy is a very weird one. I don't remember what you guys thought of this particular. I see a lot of stuff about that movie being garbage on the internet, and I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, just technically, absurdly good the way it's made. Now, I have issues with The Mummy, like story-wise. I mean, the story is kind of straight from a Cracker Jack box at points, but I mean, the actual horror elements, it's just Evil Dead in Egypt. It's straight up Evil Dead Rise in Egypt, and I like Evil Dead Rise. Not my favorite movie of those, but I liked it. So I don't really know how horror movie fans were like, this is the worst movie ever. Like, it was disgusting. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the mummy is not for the faint of heart, which I appreciate every now and then, to be honest. Again, it's coming from a movie like Passenger. I'll watch a Mummy because at least it made me feel something. You know, Passenger made me die. My theater experience, I was all alone in the theater for Oddity, and it was thunderstorming out. Ooh, yeah, I'm a big rain guy. I'm a big thunderstorm movie guy. The major issues, the characters all made the absolute stupid decision ever. Yeah, my issue with that movie is very simple. First off, it's straight up a proof of concept. I use this in the Backrooms video where it's like so clearly sequel baiting. Like they don't show you any of the good stuff. It just exists solely so that we can make a franchise out of Dolly. And then you have like practical effects that are kind of cool, like related to Sean William Scott's character, and it kind of goes nowhere. You just keep seeing this guy crawl at the speed of molasses so that you can be shocked by the practical effects, which are pretty decent. And the whole movie was like, just run out the front door. The movie's over. Run out the front door. Like it's like this big, lard character with a shovel. Just run away. Like you don't have to know where you're going. Just run. It's not. You stabbed it in the leg. She's rolling on the ground. Run out the door. It's over. She goes back to save this guy, which I get it. It's a movie, but I mean, realistically, what are you going to do? There's this big thing that's not letting. Just go call the cops, man. The movie's over. And that to me is like immersion breaking shit. When it's like, when you put somebody in a conundrum where it's like the only alternative you have is clear death. You clear death, but you might be the moral person. Like, no, like I think so. You always just do the obvious generic thing and then you live with the repercussions. You don't just randomly just die because it's the moral thing. Like, no, it's stupid. You're dead. Breastfeeding straight up copied. Yeah. There's another movie that kind of copied that movie called Match on Tubi, but that movie was so freaking insane that I almost appreciated it. I mean, that's a movie that's like, the amount of crack going on in the writing room was insane. Mainly they tried to cover up bad writing with all the characters. Yeah. I just didn't like the amount of times where the Dolly character would just look at you and go like, and it was like, it wasn't creepy at all. Or I said in my review, I think she sounded like she had sleep apnea. She was just like, I was like, can you stop doing that shit, man? Like, I could not stand it. Match the Tubi. Yeah, Match. See, I like Barbarian a lot more than Match, but they're in the same vein of like, what the fuckville. Like, you watch those movies, it's like, All right, time to shower. They name dropped Toby Hooper on the sign. It was kind of cringy. Yeah, I see. I didn't even catch that. That was a weird movie. I heard Dolly. I've heard I heard about from like a couple of people that I've kind of over time come to realize they really hype up everything. It's kind of like I get early access, so the movie's great. I heard that Dolly was very good, and I heard a couple people say this movie's like awesome, and I was like, okay, I'm down for a good horror film. I saw that movie with like 10 people, like 8 walked out or something. Like everyone walked out of that. Like it was nobody liked that movie that I was with. I was like, like it was so bad. To me, it's just it's not that it's bad even. It's just a nothing burger. Like I felt nothing watching Dolly. Like it is what it like. For example, like that's another movie. It should have been 30 minutes. It's put into a movie an hour or hour 15 or something, and you just go watch it. Like you can watch The Chair on YouTube for free, Milk and Cereal for free. They're infinitely better. So I appreciate the technical making. It's a very well made film. It just was not for me. That's a weird one. I enjoyed The Mummy. I wonder if those that went into it thought it was a remake. Yeah, see, that's a skill issue again, though. I mean, if you go and see Lee Cronin's The Mummy and you think Brendan Fraser is going to be in it, I almost think a lot of people just got pissed that it was The Evil Dead. Like they wanted a Mummy movie. But to me, The Mummy's just too gnarly. It was a gnarly movie. I mean, that's a movie that you gotta lace in. You're gonna watch that movie. I mean, there was numerous scenes in that movie. I was like, ugh. And I'm a pretty hard audience. I mean, that movie was when she's just help get your sister undressed and she starts peeling off her skin like bandages. I was like, oh my God. The cop in the woods sees Dolly, knows there's been murders, and turns his back. Yeah, that happens at the beginning of Psycho Killer, or the movie I call Sucko Killer, where like the two cops, they pull over this guy who could possibly be the psycho vigilante they're after, and they're playing telephone with their back to the window, and then he gets away. It's like, dude, like that to me is just incomprehensible bad writing. Like when you have like a cop character who clearly would fear for his life in that situation, and he's like dicking around on the job. Help! Help, it's a murder. And the guy turns his back and goes, calm down, and then he dies. Like, no, if the guy said that's a murder, he'd probably unholster and go, okay. Nah, not Movieville. I mean, that was one of those ones like, yeah, like it was a stupid decision. Hooperville. Yeah, that's even dumb. I would have mentioned that if I saw it. Let's talk about Obsession, dude. I made 3 videos about Obsession. I'll talk about it if you have any questions or want to talk about anything. I loved Obsession, so I am obsessed with it. I can talk about the movie ad nauseum. Very likely, I feel a lot of people thought the new Mummy was a continuation of the Brendan Fraser ones. True thing is, it definitely. I'm going to give you guys something that might surprise you. I don't remember anything about the Mummies besides the Beatles. I used to watch those movies routinely at one of my buddy's sleepovers. Him and his dad would do. I don't remember a thing. I don't know anything about the Mummy besides the Scorpion King CGI is terrible and the Beatles were terrifying because they like ate everybody. Like they would just smother you. So I have no idea. Like I don't even know what the Mummy series is about. I have like relatives that like every once in a while they'll mention the Mummy. They're like, I hated the Mummy. Because like I was one of those movies I think where like the mummies could like throw people through walls, but then they couldn't beat Brendan Fraser up. It's like one of the which I don't mind. It's the Mummy, I don't really care. I'll meet you halfway. I love the first 2. The third Mummy, man, it's bad. Is that the Scorpion King? Didn't Lee Cronin's The Mummy? Was that better than Evil Dead Rise? That's interesting. I'd have to sit and think on that. I've only seen Evil Dead Rise once. I don't know. I'd say I probably like Rise more, but it would be like, this is not how I rate them. It would be like a 5.5 to a 6. Like it's very close. Like they're very interchangeable. They're the same type of movie though. Like if you like Evil Dead from Fede Alvarez, like you'll like Evil Dead Rise and you'll really like The Mummy probably because it's just that type of horror. Yeah, if you don't like Evil Dead Rise, you'll probably hate The Mummy because it's by the exact same guy and it's kind of the same movie. It just takes place in Egypt. But I'll be honest, I think The Mummy's more messed up. The Mummy's like more disgusting, gnarly. Like The Mummy's got like 10 scenes where it's just like, I mean, The Mummy is probably like the most extreme movie that came out this year, I think. Don't even mention the Tom Cruise one. I've still never seen that. I heard it's terrible, but it always looked really good. And I'm a Tom Cruise guy. So, I mean, I'm ready to be disappointed again. I'm ready to have my heart broken. I'm okay with that. I'm probably going to watch it eventually and say, this stinks. Apparently, it was so bad it killed the entire Universal Monsters thing they were going to do. Yeah, man. Obsession. The bedtime scene of Obsession is like peak, like top 5. Like that's like top 5, like the highest my pulse has ever been. Like I was terrified during that scene. That was so good. Like panic attack worthy. Brendan Fraser Mummy series is pulp. Yep. Yeah, that's how I view it. It's like it's fun. Like that's the type of movie I'd throw on before bed. Just watch a mummy movie. Not a serious movie. It's funny. I do like Brendan Fraser too. I'm glad that guy's career is resurging. I almost saw his new movie, but I was so sick of seeing the trailer, that Pressure movie. I was like, I cannot see this movie right now. I'm going to hate it. I saw that trailer for Pressure. Send my men into the storm like 150 times in the same week. I was like, I can't do this. Wasn't big and even the bride. The third Mummy's Tomb of the Dragon. I didn't even know there was a movie called the Mummy, the Tomb of the Dragon Empire. Yeah, Rise is my least favorite. I agree. The Mummy is more gnarly. Yep. I have a hot take. So when I was growing up, my dad told me that he's not a big scary movie guy. He told me that his favorite horror movie, like the scariest movie he's ever seen, was the original Evil Dead. So I grew up my whole life expecting that was going to like make me terrified. So I saw it when I was in like high school, and I didn't think it was very scary. I thought it was very good. It was just kind of weird because it's like, Sam Raimi. And it was unsettling, but I was like, you got scared by this, Dad? And he's like, yeah, that movie was so scary. So then I saw 2, and I was like, this is kind of weird. It's not really even the same movie. I actually have never seen Army of Darkness. Sorry, admission. But I saw Fede, the Fede one that was it was like the remake, and it was almost NC-17, and it was marketed the scariest movie you will ever see. And there was a kid I worked with who was fanatic about the Evil Dead. He's like, this is the greatest. He loved those series. Like he'd seen it. He was looking forward to this movie for like 6 months. And I saw that movie, and that is the most metal movie ever. Like, by far my favorite Evil Dead. That Fede one, like, that shit is insane. Like, that's another movie that, like, I did not sleep well. That was a very, like, disturbing movie. Which I almost want to talk about disturbing movies sometime. I feel like a lot of the movies I find disturbing, not a lot of other people do. Yeah, Rise is my least favorite movie. Yep, Mummy, probably not in canon view. Is it more like wince-inducing? It is very. I don't want to say Hostel, but I think that's a good movie to compare it to. It's that brand of horror where it's shock horror. Like, again, there's a scene I said where a character says, hey, brother, do you want to help your sister get undressed? And she just starts peeling her skin off like a mummy's bandage, like ripping the skin off all the way down her limbs. And it's in depth for like 5 minutes. Yeah, it's fucked. All the above. Mummy has literal scenes. Yep. You have like another thing. You have a lot of violence towards children in that movie. It used to be taboo until Art the Clown said, fuck them kids and Terrifier. And now the floodgates are open. But that's a movie that a lot of damage is done to kids, which is uncomfortable to a lot of viewers. No, you're good. I'm sorry. I'm just catching up. I mean, which is cool. This is awesome because this has been really easy to do this. I kind of worried before I did this if there would be anybody in here, and I was like, am I going to end this in 20 minutes? So this is awesome. Army of Darkness is one of my most watched movies ever. Straight up comedy, though. I was rewatching it when my wife went into labor. Had to pause. See, priorities, man. You got to watch the climax. No, I've seen scenes of it. Like, I've seen the little stop motion stuff because it's been on in my house, but I've never sat and watched it. And I'm one of these people who will say that when I say I've never watched it, I pretty much demand that I give it the respect it deserves. Like, I have to sit and watch it. Like, I've told Brian before, another one's going to surprise you guys. I've never seen The Exorcist, the original Exorcist. I've seen huge components of it, like, in the background, and I've seen like the best segments in like videos. I've never sat and said, I'm going to watch The Exorcist. I've never done it, but I've seen like 50 different times it was playing somewhere I was at. I've never sat and watched it. I was just always busy when it was on. Sinister, I remember seeing that in theaters. Yeah. Sinister is unfortunately the movie that ruined horror trailers because it gave away 90% of the movie. I don't know if I've ever been in a theater that was more scared shitless than Sinister. I saw that with coworkers when it came out. These girls I was with, easiest cuddle environment I have ever seen. I mean, this was like, these girls, I'm pretty sure, had nightmares for 2 weeks over that movie. It was insane, bro. I've never seen people in person that scared at any movie I've been. Like, they were like, we want to leave. Like, this is too scary. That last segment on VHS with the playground. Which one was that? Oh, when they're at the house? Yeah, where they're doing like the haunted house. Yeah, they just wrecked them. Fun fact, there's a movie, another channel I follow called Out. He said that the guy who made the Fun Size short is making another horror movie this year, and it sounded really good. So I don't know the name of that. And you guys want to look into it. It sounded really good the way he described it. And since it's by that guy, I was like, all right, I'll check it out because I really like the Fun Size segment. What did he? I missed this guy. I missed the Nikki one. Nikki liked Bear as a friend. Yeah. What was the question? Did I miss stick to your gums question? See if I can find it real quick. Yeah, no, I don't see the original message. Yeah, I've never seen it. Means I've never. Yeah, 100%. 100%. If I say I've never seen it, there's a chance I've never seen it, but more than likely I know what it is, and I have never sat there with the lights off and said, it's time to engage with this. Because it's like a personal pet peeve when people say, yeah, I've watched all of that. And like, they watched it on a second monitor when they worked. Like, it's like background noise. Like, nah, I never try to do that for things. Like, that's why, even if I could, and I don't, like, I know some people, they like to find stuff free online. Like, I would never want to watch a movie like Obsession off like a cam rip. Just because it's like, it's not even doing the movie. Like, I might think that movie stinks if I saw it on like a camera. I need to see it the way it's intended. Evidenced by the fact she is screaming in desperation every time she was present, and she later asked Bear to kill her. To what Bear asked, is it so bad? Liking a friend as a person, it's taken for granted, but why did she question Bear on his feelings? What would have happened has he said yes? Okay, so stick to your gums. Completely emotional dude. I don't remember. I didn't see your initial question, but in response to that one, I saw an interview with Indy Navarrete, who plays Nikki, and they asked her the question: did Nikki like Bear? Did Bear have a chance? Because that's been disputed on the internet. Like, is Bear just obsessed with this girl? She says that her interpretation is that if Bear would have asked her, Nikki had feelings for him. And I think you actually probably could make that case, because there's a scene when she goes, Bear, do you like me? Tell me. And he goes, as friends. And then she clearly gets pissed off, kind of, and walks inside disappointed. And any guy who's been in that situation knows when they fumbled the bag if you've done that. And you know that was the moment you fucked it up. Like, at that point, you have no chance with her. Because, like, you had an in, you had a chance, yes or no, and he didn't take it. And that was the moment. I think, like, that's the way I interpreted it. So when I was reading all this stuff online that it was like this villainous guy, I was like, I thought he was a dipshit. Like, he just didn't know girls. But I mean, every guy's been that to some extent. You always communicate with your viewers, Sean, and that means a lot of respect to me. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I try. I mean, it's a balance, because if you have a lot of comments on the same videos, then it's hard to almost like respect the comment, because sometimes I literally read the same comment like 50 times in a row. I got that with that Bear video. It was people saying the same things I said in the video over and over again. They'd say stuff like, no matter what you say, he's the villain. It's like, what's the point of that comment? Like, I can't engage with this. Nikki laid it out for him. I want to see the Hallmark version where he says yes, and he says, yeah. Yeah. So another thing about that movie, right, is there's a giant montage scene. Like, where they're having, you know what I'm talking about? Like, when they're cooking and they're kissing and do like, it's Happy Days music's playing in the kitchen. To me, that was supposed to indicate that before the weird obsession shit ruined it, they were kind of hunky-dory for a while. Like they were having a good old time. And even if you want to get into like the whole romance angle of like hooking up and stuff, you'd imagine over the course of that montage they were sleeping together and doing all that. They're just in a healthy relationship. So there's massive moral gray issues. Like, imagine, you don't know the time lapse to that movie because everyone says you guys have been dating. It went so fast. If that was like 2 to 4 weeks, like you've been montage dating and it's been great, how does somebody just turn their brain off and go, oh, I'm dating a fucking demon? Like, no, that's movie stuff. Like to a moviegoer, you know that, but to a character in a movie, you would never think that in the real world if you were in love with somebody. That was my issue with that whole debate that's going on online. The Exorcist is among my favorite movies ever. I don't know why it connected with me. I see it every so often. Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of videos online about people just in my free time when it's like top 10 movies, top 10 scariest. Because I'm like you guys. I'm fishing for like, give me a movie. Like, give me a good movie. The amount of lists I see that have Exorcist like top 3, I mean, it's worthy. I have to watch it. They brought it back to theaters like last October. If they do it again, maybe I'll watch it. But in what conceivably polite, sensible, healthy is that something you could do to somebody? Wait, what something you could do to somebody? Yeah, her reaction for her body language is like, I know you're lying, Bear. Yeah, 100%. And somebody else has also talked about the infamous hookup scene, which is pretty disturbing. One of the most like disgusting scenes in the movie where they're hooking up and she's clearly not into it, but she's like making noise. So he's over there like humping and she's laying off yonder, like kind of emotionless. And it's supposed to be this disturbing scene, which it is. And I actually heard from the director's mouth on this one, and Indy Navarrete, which is I think why she was so good in this role, like her nuance to this performance, like she really got the point of this character, like how to make this work. She convinced Curry Barker like how this was supposed to look, because Curry Barker said it's just supposed to be this abuse scene. Like you're supposed to see Bear taking advantage of her. And Indy goes, no, what if that's just to showcase that the demon thing, whatever Nikki's doing, it's not like that. It's not like she's trapped, which she is. The demon only needs to be performative to Bear to prove she loves him when Bear knows. And I thought that was so creative. Like she's laying there emotionless because Bear's not looking at her. So you could kind of deduct that if they were doing it face to face, missionary style, she'd actually be smiling at him or something. But he can't see her, so the demon's like, there's nothing to fake, so she just lays there, which is super fucked up. Like to be honest, like that's all the stuff in the weeds that makes this movie so genius to me. It's like I'm still sitting here debating this movie, like how awesome some of these scenes were. You think there were other scenes aside from the extended car scene? Yeah, he said that there's like 10 scenes in that movie with people getting their head bashed in. So yeah, I think they edited out a lot, which I think is a good decision. I think that movie really benefits a lot from not being over the top gory. I know horror fans don't like to hear that. I think that movie's pretty much perfect as is, because it works just as much as a think piece, funny, like crowd pleaser than it does. Like if you start bashing heads in, then it starts to become a little bit like The Mummy. But since it never loses the comedy and stuff, the movie's just so watchable. I think that's why it's made so much money. Imagine Bear asking Sarah about that, then she's pressured into admitting it, and then he goes, yeah, but I don't like you back. That is true. If what you're saying, if I understand this, is that Nikki asked Bear, do you like me? And if he said yes, she was going to say no back to him. Yeah, that's more evidence that she probably did like him a little bit, which again is just kind of an inference you have as a guy to women. If a girl ever walks up and says that, and she says, if I like the guy, you'd never know. Like, that's evidence. Like, Bear, you might not think I like you, but, nobody knows when I like a person. Like, it's one of these things. I don't want to act like I'm like the dating prophet or something, but I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people are telling on themselves they've never dated or something. Like, it's like they don't understand social cues of dating. A lot of the stuff I was seeing is freaking genius by Curry Barker, because it's legitimate experience me and other dudes have had and other women have had that I've heard about, and coworkers have shared their stories of dates they've went on with guys. And I'm like, that is the most accurate portrayal of the awkwardness and the gray area. And I want you to say you like me, but I don't want to make it known you like me. So we're both tiptoeing, like the weird shit human beings do. It's genius. It's definitely a tough watch. Yeah, you dislike The Exorcist. I have 2 family members who say that too, but they don't like anything. But it's so layered, deep, technically well made. apparently there's more footage that was edited down. Yeah. Yeah, he said there was like 9 head smashes in the original version. So that would have been interesting if she went on a rampage at the party. I forget, by the way, nobody is talking about the genius setup of some of those scenes. That party scene, even though it's funny, how she says, kiss the girl to your left. When Nikki gets up and walks behind Sarah's chair, and you only see from the neck down on Nikki standing behind the chair, what she does is she pulls the chair out or moves the chair, and then she goes, but like, if you're thinking she's going to fuck her up, you're like, this is like such a good, again, it's the technical thing where like, you don't see the omission of information that you're like, she's going to do something to Sarah here. There's so many good scenes in that movie. Crazy. Nikki is treating the whole love interrogation as a chore, so the relationship would have probably sucked. Yeah, the idea for the movie, in very simple terms, I think it's kind of just a cautionary tale about 2 things. One, not speaking up for what you want. So Bear could have prevented everything if he would have just got an answer. This is like the anxious culture we live in where people overanalyze stuff and they go to ChatGPT. Just fucking ask her out, man. You get denied, life goes on. And then the other thing, the loss of autonomy, like from a women's perspective, is terrifying. That's a big one of this one, like abusive relationships. Both parties, the abuser, the person who's getting walked all over because they're in over their head. That's another one. Yeah, there's so many things. I mean, that movie to me is, I mean, I'm like the biggest glazer of Obsession ever. Like, honestly, like that movie to me, that's one of those movies I just get home and I smile. I just look and go like, holy shit, it's good to be alive. Like I got to see Obsession. That movie was so good. Obsession is doing so well, I would not be surprised. So apparently they're releasing that on digital June 2nd, which is a little bit alarming. I mean, they're making so much money. Why would you do that? But apparently that's supposed to be like a little bit more uncut. So maybe you'll get to see some of that if you rent it or do whatever's going online. I love the little touches in Obsession. Instead of a professional sounding diabolical boss voice. Yeah, that to me is... Yeah, because it's the same as his skits. I don't know if you watch his comedy, Drew. That's what I loved about that movie. Like I've said on this channel before, I have a very niche sense of humor. I'm kind of this self-deprecating, very dark sense of humor, kind of on the nose. A lot of comedy doesn't work for me. And even some of the comedy I really enjoy, like I Think You Should Leave Tim Robinson, it's kind of too cringe for me. Like, I get why it's funny, but I reference that show a lot. Same with his skits. Some of his skits to me are downright hilarious. The misdirection comedy. And the fact that that movie is just oozing with his comedy, but it manages to make you feel uncomfortable, but yet it's freaking hilarious, is so good. Like, it's so impossible to do. Like most of the time, like you run the risk of a movie like an Undertone, a Hereditary, where it's so serious, it's so slow that the audience can get this. That movie, again, is such a crowd-pleasing movie where like everybody can watch that movie. From a teen to an adult, they resonate with the themes of the movie. They'll laugh at certain points. The acting is good. It's just such a perfect blend. He was probably just trying to get him to crank one out so he could start approaching his life without his fixation towards her, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like to view things from like an optimistic lens. I think... Okay, so you don't know the information. This was the whole point of my video. And if you have not seen it, stick to your gums, because I don't recognize your name. Or maybe I just don't remember. I'm sorry. I did a video about this, and I'll be honest, I'm probably articulating it better live. But it was called Bear is Not the Villain or something. It was just tackling the idea that you can't approach this movie from the lens that you're an audience member. You have to know what you're given at the time of the movie, and then maybe retroactively with different details, you can analyze it a little bit more. Like for your example, I think between the way Nikki says, nobody knows if I like a guy, she's quitting the store because of Ian, I'd assume. She says, do you like me, Bear? And then she instantly gets pouty and she's like, all right, fuck this guy. Like, you don't even have the balls to ask me out. Like, this was a layup, man. Just take it. So again, not confident. I think you could kind of deduce that she, maybe it doesn't last, is kind of over the fact that Ian fucked with her, hence they were hooking up. It didn't go anywhere. He used her, and now she kind of is seeing that Bear is a good guy. Like, he's the caring, kind of softer guy, which, is not the typical guy that you'd think she'd want to go for, but she is emotionally damaged from Ian. She doesn't like the job. She feels stuck. And she's just like, I want something comfortable. And so she goes to Bear, and the Bear can't even say it. He can't spit it out. I think that's how I approached it. And then from that point on, you have the horror movie that makes it very good because it's just a legitimately great horror film. But other than that, it's like the setup of the movie is very basic. It was almost insane. I felt Twilight Zone-ish reading the way people interpreted this movie. Like, the start of the movie was manipulative. Did Bear kill his cat? Like, tell me you huff your own farts, bro. Like, no. Like, what are we doing? Kind of like anticlimactic when you come to terms with the fact that it's also pointless for all parties involved. Are you talking about the movie? I think the movie works as both a think piece and a cautionary tale. Again, be careful what you wish for. Don't use other people. Be careful about glamorizing the idea of a person more than what you actually know. I think the movie works because you can sit here, as we're talking about, and talk about every single character at a different point in that movie, and you can draw something different about what they actually meant. Like, do they mean that? That's the genius of the movie. If the movie's as simple as people are saying it is, I don't think that it's fine. I mean, we've seen the monkey's paw. I mean, that movie it's so good to sit and go, like, I could watch the scenes now having talked to you guys for 3 hours of content about the movie, and I still would be sitting there going, does she like him? Like, the ambiguous nature of the movie is why the movie works. Can't open the door. Maybe you should stay home today. Yeah, that was the thing with me. I heard people complaining online on Twitter, but they complain on everything because Twitter's an angry place. They said they were like, it annoyed me that people talked in Obsession. To me, again, that is a crowd-pleasing movie. Like, my theater was laughing their ass off. They were gasping. I had a great theater experience for Obsession. Again, I didn't see it at a full house like 3 weeks removed when all the spoilers were out, but I was hearing routine like, oh shit, what the, like, oh my god, hell no, get out of there. Like, I was seeing that like a lot. Like, it was good. It was a good experience. Thesis on fluid retention. Yeah, if you didn't remember from the movie, Sarah tells Bear that Nikki has been hooking up with Ian for the past couple of years on the side. So like that, so you could view it through a different lens, right? So Bear doesn't know that his dream girl might not be into him. She's just fucking his friend, if he's his friend. Ian is trying to help Bear. Is he though? Or is he sabotaging and he wants to watch his friend or his coworker fail because he knows he has no chance? He's fucking that chick. Sarah tells Bear about Nikki and Ian because she likes Bear, so she's in her own camp. She wants to win from this. Then you have Nikki, who, even though she's a good girl to some extent, is clearly leading Bear on for half of this movie. Come on, Bear, come out the trivia. Come on, Bear. Like, she knows this guy likes him. That's why she asks him. And then all of this bad shit happens to every party involved. That's the genius of the movie. They're all assholes. They all are bad people. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing, at least the way I took from it. And you have some stuff like that. Yeah, they're all terrible. They're all terrible people. But it also makes for great characters because as you're saying this and you're talking about this movie, you're going, there's a lot to them. Like, Bear is kind of a good guy, but he's also kind of a dick because he's like, once he gets what he wants, he's like, I'm not giving this girl up. Like, she's hot. Like, but it's like, dude, you're a creep. But then it's also like, well, what are you supposed to do? I mean, this girl's going to like kill you and everybody you know. So you just sit there the whole time, and the director has clarified this as well, and you just sit there like, what would I do? And you have people in my comment section saying, oh, I would kill. Like, really? That's lazy as fuck. Like, I don't think most people are going to do that. But it's a great think piece to sit and watch with a person. And I described this to somebody else. Drew saw the comment. It's a giant look into what you are as a person, like who you are. If you see every character act in a certain way, black and white, then you probably perceive those characters and what they do to do that all the time, and you're pretty presumptive in the real world. It's like a giant Rorschach test. Like, if Bear is innately evil, I hate to say it, you probably view men to be evil intended more times than not. If you view Nikki to just be this sinister entity with no redeeming qualities, then you probably have a little bit of trauma from a toxic ex you've dated. But there's definitely a lot of gray area to that entire movie. That's what I love. I love ambiguity in movies. I don't have enough characters to explain how passionate I am about this, but Gen Z hates 100%. I've talked about that. I try not to generalize. I do sometimes, but again, it's just generalized. I told Brian, I think Gen Z is very performative in the way they like movies, generally speaking. This is not all of them. I know a lot of really cool Gen Z people. But they're very performative. They view things like a competition. Like, do they understand the movie? What is the message of the movie? This is why Backrooms to them is like this giant 3-hour think piece when it's written by like to be like a Bob the Builder episode. It's so simple. And they're very like content driven. Like they watch movies to dissect it to make posts on Letterboxd for content. They don't actually consume the media naturally. So it's very weird because like they're sitting there saying, I solved the movie. It's a gotcha. Actually, Bear's the bad guy. And it's like, you missed the whole point. You were so, you wanted to be right so badly, you missed the entire point of enjoying the movie for what it was. You just missed it. Time is it? Holy shit. 11:10. All right, I'm going to go 15 more minutes. I'm going to go 15 more minutes. Then I'm going to eat. I'm going to go to bed. So we're going to keep it going. This has been freaking great, guys. By the way, this has been great. Keeping these going. Reason to keep thinking about what might have happened after the movie over. Yep, 100%. That's why I love it. I have still not stopped thinking about that movie. I've not stopped thinking about that movie. I almost never happened. Like to the point, like I'm sitting here thinking about the scenes when she's like, "Go back to sleep." I'm watching you sleep. Like I'm getting the chills thinking about it in this chair. Like that shit was so good, right, Drew? It drives me crazy when people say the movie doesn't explain anything. No, see, yeah, I agree. I mean, to me, okay. Here's the thing, though, right? Okay, Brian, we gotta have a little bit of a we have a discussion here. My issue is if you use like Five Nights at Freddy's as an example, you have people inferring meaning from absolute slop. So there's a limit to it. Like some people want to be so smart, they draw conclusions from things that are not there so that they can say that they did something. It's like saying Skinamarink has like a giant purpose. Like the actual no, it's visceral. Like you're supposed to feel something watching that. That's what it is. But you have a lot of that nowadays when people go, no, the actual, and it's like, you can all have interpretations. My issue is when you're just blatantly wrong. Like, you want to hear something stupid. I saw numerous posts on the internet of people talking about, dude, I just noticed the final 20 minutes of the movie, Nikki's wearing Sarah's clothes. It's like, you missed the fucking point of the movie? Like, that, were you on your phone? Like, that's literally the point of the final 20 minutes. You didn't solve the movie. Like, that's literally just the movie. You didn't even watch it. Well, that's where my frustration comes in as like a guy who talks about it. I'm like, what did you watch, man? Why would Nikki ever approach Bear like that in the first place, being so knee-deep? No, see, again, I think it's a little bit more complex than that. You got to think about it like this, right? If her dad was sick or not, whatever, she doesn't have a good relationship with her dad, whatever. They say that in the movie, right? Or she uses that example. She could just be like an anxious girl. She's like a teenager or something, you know, heartbroken teenager. She's been used to like, you know, it's hard to box people in, I think, to say like what you would be. And we've all been in lows. We've all been bad to people. We've all been wronged. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like if I was a girl who was being used and a guy kept telling me he liked me, or maybe he was you don't know what Ian said. Maybe Ian told her that Bear thinks she's a bitch or something. Like, you don't know what Ian's doing on the side. He might be like sabotaging all of them. So they're all just very bad people, or very gray people, which is cool because it's human. You know, I feel like you could meet a person like Ian where you could have a bro to bro conversation because he's giving good advice. He's saying, yeah, man, just go up and ask her to have a drink. Like, that's solid dude advice. But at the same time, he's just a dick. You never really know. You know, they're just kind of a dick. Yeah, they just say it was happening over the course of a couple of years. I mean, she's on Molly in the one scene. They play trivia. They drive each other home. It's not hard to predict. Probably a couple of nights or something, things went one way. I mean, again, experience depends on how it goes. The movie expects its audience to be smart. Yeah, yeah. He even said that. Curry Barker said that modern horror audiences are very smart. So, like, you have to treat them smart, and I agree. Like, you can't just spell out everything. That's actually one of the issues I have with the Backrooms. Like, Backrooms, it's kind of ambiguous. You it's what the Backrooms are. And then at the end of the movie, they just tell you the whole fucking movie. Like, he literally just tells you at a table. He goes, all right, boys, time to sit down and let's tell you what the Backrooms means. It's like, how dumb you think the audience is. I mean, I told you, like, a 6-year-old could have figured this out, and you got to explain it. I'm right about the performative nature. Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, Again, I don't let it jade me. I mean, it's hard when you just generalize everybody, but yeah, I mean, the internet in general is very performative. Again, like if I made thumbnails that said Bear is what's wrong with society, and I just ranted about how Bear is an archetype for greater systemic, I probably would have got 20,000 views. I don't want to do that shit. I don't believe in it. It's corny. Like, I mean, the internet is very, very performative now. Ever since they attached engagement to pay, like, I can just make a tweet that says obsession sucks, and I'll probably make more money than anything because it's like people are gonna argue with me. I don't want to do that though. She's pretty much scolding him. I do get he's insisting himself on the group. You mean she's scolding him in the car? Well, you got to realize too, though, right? Like, imagine you're a girl, right? A girl's supposed to get approached by a guy most of the time, and you say, "Do you freaking like me, dude? Like, just tell me, man. Like, I'm in a bad mood." Like, and the guy goes, "Like a brother." I'd be like, "Fuck you." You've never been in that situation. I've been in that situation before, both on the dummy side where I was in Bear situation, and I was in the other side where like I was clearly with a girl who I knew she liked me, but I kind of was just I didn't want to put her down, or I knew it was just weird situation. Like, I've been in that situation, so I know why both parties, like, I've had been in a situation like that on the inverse, where like a girl basically was like annoyed that I didn't like her back, and I knew I didn't like her back, but we were in this weird like friction thing at work where I was like, I don't want to like piss her off, and it just got to like a weird point where it was like, yeah, like, I mean, there's like human elements to this where it's like weird, where people get frustrated with the way other people treat them. It's like, yeah, that's why I think this movie's so good. I think people are being way more sinister about that. This is definitely an adolescence thing where, like, when you're younger, you don't know what the hell you're doing. Teenagers are dumbasses. Now, they might be a little bit older than teenagers, but they're still dumbasses. I mean, what are they, like 20 years old? I mean, people don't know what they're doing at that age. That's why modern audiences don't like teasers. They want a full trailer, 100%. I agree with Jason Blum. He said he doesn't want to do that, but it shows. Movies he shows all the trailer with, people go and see them. Can't hate. Engagement farming. If I'm going to make money off of it, that's another thing, by the way. I feel like a lot of people are very disingenuous about how far they would go for money. Everyone likes to believe that if they don't have a lot of money in front of them, that they would not take the paycheck. Like, let's say I believed in, which I don't. I don't believe in gambling sponsors or anything. But if somebody offered me 500 grand to do a gambling ad before my next video, you know how hard that would be to turn down? Again, morality. It's great. Yeah, that's why I tend to not either watch full trailer. Yeah, I never watch those. I'd say that all the time. I did not see a trailer of this. The more trailers I see, the worse the movie is, generally speaking. Hollywood tries to cater to general audience doesn't care. Yep. That's kind of an issue, though, I think that they're running into, but they're also kind of solving through movies like Obsession. They're realizing that you don't really actually win by catering to the general audience. You cater to creative, specific niches. Like, if you cater to everybody with The Mandalorian and Grogu, you're either A, going to get all of the people who always go there, B, general audiences who clearly aren't showing up. But if you make original things, you can actually appeal to like a niche that's untapped, like people who don't normally go to the movies. So by catering to everybody, it's like what they say. If you don't stand for something, you fall for, or if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Saying, I think. You got to draw a line in the sand somewhere, like what your brand is. You can't just be like, if you don't piss anybody off, I like to say it, you just make generic lazy shit. Your movie or your content or whatever it is should be divisive enough that not everybody loves it. It's impossible to make, even Obsession, it's like 97% like. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like it. Me too, Ryan. I avoid teasers. They show too much. True. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Yep. Yeah, I noticed that during that movie Thrash. Did you watch that crappy shark movie? The characters literally talk like that. They'll say like, "Where are you going, Mrs. Simmons?" And she'll go, "Oh, Brett, I'm going to the school because I need to get there before the flood happens." Like, everything they say is like shit that can follow the plot because like you're not even watching it. I could have understood that movie from like The Bathroom. It was terrible. Yeah, people love a good rant. I love a good rant too. My issue is that people force rants. They like rant about movies that aren't even that bad. Like I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example of this. Predator Badlands had an anti-woke crowd. Like, the manliest, most badass movie of the year last year, Predator Badlands, was woke. It's like, tell me you didn't watch the movie. I showed that to someone, then afterwards I was like, yeah, you know, this movie was like ripped online as being like like a watered down, and they were like, what the fuck, man? Like, and they were just like, they were so over like the way people just, I'm like, yeah, like, what are we talking about? Yeah, Sean, like the troll posts are incomplete. Whatever, just get 50 million comments. Huh? Yep. They'll always comment and say something. They'll repost obsession, and then they'll say, "You guys know what the big problem about this is, but nobody wants to address it." Dot dot dot. It's simply so people go, "What? Tell me." Like, wow, it's really real think piece. That's also why I don't use social media. I feel like social media kind of does that on every single site. I started doing it with Twitter. I still kind of engage, kind of in like a sporadic way, but probably not for long. I mean, it doesn't really help. It's disconnected. It's toxic. Like, I don't really enjoy it. But I do enjoy reading. It only helps me kind of think about content. Again, like I'll see some stuff where people are talking about Bear being the villain, and I'm like, oh, this is like actually a thing that people are talking about, because I wouldn't know, because I don't watch any videos. But the general population's like, yes, which gives me some good talking points. So I guess that's something. You can tell why most movies on Netflix are just mid. The reasons they're mid are simple. The people who run the company have told you they're very for profit, so they do not care at all about the quality as long as they make money. That's the big problem. So when you get to season 3 of your TV show and your major star demands a pay raise, they cancel the show. Hence, the good show is gone. Netflix 101. They hire unknown actors. They hire cheap to produce studios or like very generic, lame digital recording, so everything looks and is colorized on the same exact palette. Hence, like the Apex movie looks like it's clearly in a studio green screen, and we all know which it is. Probably the same studio they're using for all the movies. And you just compare it with lazy writing, generic dialogue, churn. They're pretty predictable stories. They're not divisive. Oh, wow. There's a movie about a girl trapped in the forest against a killer. Do you think she's going to live? Like, Netflix ain't killing that character. Like, Netflix ain't doing anything that's going to offend anybody. So it's like, that's why every single character, every single Netflix show recasts like the entire cast so that it covers every demographic. And everybody knows it, because it's like the whole brand is just pandering, all of the streaming brands. Like, it's not about producing content, it's strictly business. Which, don't get me wrong, like, making money is fine. There's nothing innately wrong with running a good business. But if your business is, a whole business is shit products that just, it's cheap, then yeah, I have a problem with it. And we all can see it. That's why I was like, I'm so glad they didn't get Paramount. Or Warner Brothers, I mean. Netflix is literally swimming in money. Yep. Yeah. Swimming in money. I mean, yeah, I mean, because, and I hate to say this, I think the general consumer is very lazy. Like, again, I don't want to like talk down on people's choices, but using Tuner as an example, like, I don't think anybody's going to see it. You can't really blame them. It's not really in any theaters. A lot of dramas flop. But like the average fan, and I get it 100% because I am the average fan at points. They get off of work. They don't have a lot of money. They want something that they can just, it's easy. People don't like to be challenged. It's like an evolutionary thing. So to them, it's like, why would I fish through 18 streaming platforms or go to the movies when Netflix is the thing? Like, Netflix is its own brand, like Netflix and chill. Let's watch some Netflix. People say that. Same way they say, let's hire an Uber. There's other ride sharing. Like, you can hire a Lyft. Like, it's like the same reason. It's like most people, let's throw on some Netflix. It's like they don't care. It's like that platform appeals to complacency. Like, if you don't care, like you are a person who's going to watch this movie I'm going to watch when I get off of this, open Netflix. You'll always have something. That's what it is. And it's like, to me, because I am into this stuff, like, I feel that. Like, I feel the lack of passion. I go, oh, these people don't give a shit about this. Then you have the algorithm as well. You can't find any movies on streaming. They're all buried. You're buried into existence. The one movie on streaming you might want to watch is seemingly on none of them. You have to rent it. A lot of women that I know watch those murder docs. Yeah, yeah. See, that's cool though. I like that. I think Netflix makes good shows. They make good limited series, and they make pretty decent documentaries. Where they suck is movies. Like, I've watched a lot of their documentaries. Like, Don't Fuck with Cats. I think that one was popular. They have a couple of them. Pretty decent. Like, if you're that type of consumer, you like to watch 6-episode like dramas. They have a lot of them, and they're pretty decent. You can't really find them anywhere else. But if you want to watch movies, original movies particularly, do not go. What is your favorite movie, Mel? Your favorite movie. I want to hear what your favorite movie is. Gotta admit, it's worked for them incredibly. Um, I think the movie industry, I realized I've kind of gotten ranty about this. Like, it's a 50-50. It's half consumer based, it's half studio based. Consumers are generally lazy. A lot of people I know have no interest of going to the theaters. They don't really care about paying for anything besides one or two cheap streamers. They watch a movie a month. All that stuff. Movies are too expensive. I get it. Everybody has different priorities. Studios are completely fucking brain dead when it comes to making movies. I mean, like, I liked the movie, but like, why did Rev 1 cost like $500 million? Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, you'll see that all the time. Like, Mandalorian and Grogu probably cost like $250 million. I haven't even looked. So it's like, it's like, what are we doing? Like, as like a society, like, why are certain movies? There was a movie that you'll get drama movies. They're like drama movies about like Broadway or something, and they'll cost like $100 million. And you're like, what are you spending money on? Then you see Obsession for like $1 million. I think Ryan, though, and this is a cool thing for a lot of people. I think a lot of people though use shows in a different way, where they use them as like background noise, kind of like they clean and unless it's like straight up consumption. And at that point, it's like, maybe that's the preference. But I mean, a lot of people I know watch a lot of TV, but it's like they're like 60% watching. They're like doing dishes, and especially if it's like an episodal thing, it's like the Blacklist or whatever. I think that show where it's kind of like the same thing every season or every show. Netflix has a 30 for 30 version I kind of enjoyed. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of 30 for 30. When I was younger, I used to watch ESPN like 24/7. I'm a big sports guy, but ESPN just became like weird. It's like oddly political. It's like the pundit tables that talk about like, again, politics and stuff. It's like there's no actual sports analysis. It's like desks telling you who the greatest player is and stuff. It's like, talk about the games, man. I miss when it was like Chris Berman doing nightly or web gems on like baseball and stuff. They just got rid of all of them, and now it's just like you just watch people at a desk like argue. Weird. You should edit TV show seasons into two. Keep all the production value, the pointers. I think we are seeing a great thing happening to movies right now with Obsession. I think the studio landscape is being shaken up, and they're learning that you don't have to follow a traditional formula. You can get independent people, you can get creative visions, you can get weird stories like the Backrooms. Like, think of that movie, like conceptually, like that is a very weird movie to put in theaters. You can make a lot of money for very cheap, especially if you have established fan bases. You don't need to only make IPs. You don't only, in fact, I actually think those movies are probably the riskiest, like to make a Marvel movie right now. Like, I'm pretty sure Doomsday, if I'm not mistaken, has like $1 billion in budget or something. It's really high, like 500 million or something. Like, that movie's gonna need to make buku bucks to make any money back. Like Undertone or something costs like 2 million to make, and it made like 15 million. It's like awesome. Like, I mean, you just made a lot of money. Like, this independent darling thing happens every single year. Yeah. There's always something every single year. I more than a lot of people on here don't really even concern myself with like the Oscars and box office. I know a lot of channels, and it's interesting to hear from them. I'm just not super into it. It's like what something cost, what it made. That's something else we're oddly fanatical about now. Everybody nowadays cares about what the movie cost. Nobody used to care about that 20 years ago. I think Doomsday cost $1 billion. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I can find it. Avengers Doomsday. 400 million with a $300 million marketing. It's 700 million before like royalties. So yeah, it's probably going to run them almost $1 billion. Bruce Campbell had an amazing quote on the Rosenbaum's podcast. He basically said Hollywood should make 100%. Yep. That's what I like, because even if you pull the trigger on Obsession and it barely makes its money back, you don't really feel outed. You want to know who's killing it? Blumhouse. You hate Blumhouse all you want. Blumhouse understands this business. You take risks from time to time. You buy big IPs like Halloween, Saw, and you make a lot of Women in the Yard. You make a lot of like pretty digestible, low risk movies, and then you can keep staying afloat. Now I'll tell you who like doesn't understand how to do this, and I don't want to like harp on like some of the people who do it. It's like Marvel and DC, like they put out, like even Pixar, they put out massive flubs. Like you'll get some movies that lose like $50 million on like an animated movie that costs like $80 million. Like what the $80 million for Toy Story? Like what are we spending money on? I also think, and maybe this is a hot take about Obsession, I think who's really losing is studios right now, because they're arguing, and you've probably seen these posts, that AI is needed for budgets because budget bloat, like the movies cost too much to make. And you just saw a creative filmmaker make a movie for less than $1 million and absolutely kill it. So your excuse is not really money. The excuse is that you make shitty movies. And I think people are starting to see through that. Like, there's been a lot of good movies this year that did not cost anything. Again, I liked Undertone. I understand if you didn't. Backrooms cost 10 million. Movie's going to make 80 probably. It's going to maybe 100. Long Legs did it last year. Same thing. You don't like the movie, I get it. It cost like 10 million, made 100 million. There's a lot of original movies that are making buku bucks that are not traditional studio like horror films, things like that. And it's mostly horror because horror is cheap to produce. But big dramas like Star Wars, and which is also kind of the problem, right? Like even movies like Star Wars, and again, I don't watch the movies really, like the stories in the universe are just bloated. It's all CGI and there's 9 million Easter eggs. It's like, tell a good story like Predator Badlands did. Just tell an original story like Prey did for Predator, and we'll like it. Which should have went to theaters, by the way. I'll die on that hill. Going against Dune. Yeah, there's a couple movies. The Odyssey, Dune, Doomsday. I thought they all come out pretty soon. Hot take, I think, hot take. This is a real hot take. If I'm wrong, you can burn me. I don't think Dune's going to do very well. I think it's going to do great. I don't think it's going to do nearly as well as people think. Because I know a lot of people who did not like Dune 2. So we'll see. I mean, I could be completely wrong. I probably am. I usually am. Where they do two. We might never get a full $1 billion movie because times are just changing. Studios don't want to take that risk anymore. I think the only movie that could have possibly did that was Endgame. They didn't even do that. I think I told people I did not like the original Dune. Like I fell asleep to that movie 5 nights in a row. I could not watch it. I thought it was so boring. It was good for what it was not my movie. So I never saw Dune 2. I'm excited for the Odyssey. Not to mention movie theaters take four. Yeah. So here's a little fun fact if you don't know it about movie theaters. So movie theaters, the way they operate is for the first 2 weeks, they make nothing on ticket sales. They're only held afloat by concessions. That's why concessions are overpriced. After 2 weeks, the theater keeps like a royalty or based on the negotiated rate, money from the theater. So theaters are eating good because of Obsession. If they negotiated well, like they might be making like 40% a ticket, and like they're making millions of dollars. Like Obsession is fantastic for movie theaters. But the first 2 weeks, they make shit. That's why like the third week of Obsession killing it is phenomenal for movie theaters. Movie theaters are probably making like hundreds of thousands of dollars off of that movie. Everybody I know loved the first Dune. I just didn't get the hype. Like I thought like the story was kind of weird. Like you have a character played by Jason Momoa who's like the biggest character in the series, who's like in the movie for 5 minutes, and then they like cry over his death. I'm like, I don't even know who that guy is. Like I couldn't tell you his name right now. So I don't know. This wasn't for me, man. I, I love Arnold Palmer. All right, I lied. I'll do 5 more minutes because I realize I am just addicted to this. I think Doom was released during the peak. I just know a lot of people who read the Doom book. Like a lot of people like the Doom book. My brother loved that movie. He was like, "Watch Doom, watch Doom, watch Doom," and I watched it and I was like, "Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate you stopping by." Like I said, if you want to stick around, man, I make content. I usually do movie reviews. This is the first live I've ever done. Uh, I probably got to articulate my thoughts a little bit better in this live than I did those videos because, as I said, it's kind of hard to fit that much stuff into a review. But do I have any other recommendations for people who gave good obsession takes? Um, what do you mean good? I don't know if Drew can relate because he found me through an obsession comment I made. If you read my comment section on, so I've done 3 videos about obsession. You want to check those out? I did oh, you hated the movie. Okay. So I did a normal review, which is pretty bare bones, which we've probably talked about. If you can watch these, whatever. I did a spoiler review, which is a little bit about the interview with the director, which I think I talked about today, but still it's kind of interesting thoughts about how he made the movie. And it might explain some of the things you don't like. And then I did a video about the character Bear, which talks kind of about all of the character dynamics. As for like good, this is going to sound really pretentious. I don't think I've seen anybody else, but I haven't really looked either, who's really fully articulated my thoughts on obsession. Everybody to me, everybody to me is kind of being very PC about it. Like they're trying not to offend the hive mind that is attacking Bear. So they're all very tippy toes about how this movie is, and they're being way more straightforward about it than it actually is. Because if they say it's completely gray, you're going to get lumped in with some like asshole crowd. So they don't want to do that. There's a couple of videos specifically that are concretely like, this is the movie, because that is the PC way to interpret this movie. Unfortunately for them, there's numerous articles, there's numerous interviews where the directors completely dispute that. So I could tell you, I might not be 100% right in my interpretation, but the majority of what I'm telling you comes directly from the mouth of the cast, the director, articles, interviews. It's very ambiguous, this movie. A lot of people are definitely dancing on both sides of the aisle. And once again, from my perspective, making content, I know why that is. Because a lot of people like to say the thing I just said where I'm like, you can dislike it. It's up. People don't want to be the guy who ever takes a stance where it's like you can lose subscribers because now you're a bad guy. Yeah. Oh, Brian, are you talking about the ones where it's like so clearly the guy's a bad guy? Yeah, it's all hive mind people saying like, I don't care what you say, he's a bad guy. And it's like 15 people saying, yeah, he's an evil guy. And it's like, cool, dude, good conversation. I want to understand more things about the inner workings of this movie. If you want to, okay, so stick to your gums. Here's what I recommend for you, and it's not just because it's my channel. Watch my videos. You might get something from them if you like this conversation. So I've done 3 of them. If you like the channel, stick around, cool, because I don't recognize you. If you've been here, I apologize again. If you, regardless, afterwards, probably look up the Dead Meat channel interview with Curry Barker, the director. It's a very good interview where they like talk about all of the reasons for his writing and some of the major scenes and spoilers and why they did them that way. It's very informative, where you get direct insight to the director saying why he did this. Again, like one of the interviews I watched, I think it was that when he talks about the jump scare, where he says he doesn't make jump scares like normal people to make you jump. He makes you want to say, that's weird. Like, I don't like that. And I think it's very effective because you watch the movie and you think that. You're like, I don't like that she's in the corner like that. So I would just look up Curry Barker interviews. There's a lot of content going around. You could find ones with Indy Navarrete, who's the girl who plays Nikki. And I don't normally read into it that much, but I fell into a massive wormhole with this movie. Especially because people were debating it, and I was like, I can't be crazy, right? Maybe, but not in this case. All right, lads. It's 11:30. This has been fantastic. I had I had a great time doing this. I'm gonna get off in a sec. I might do this. I'm trying to think when I can do another one. Maybe next time a big topic comes up. You can just dip, bro. Irish exit. It's fine, man. Thanks for stopping by. I might either do another live. I don't know if I have enough stuff to talk about to fill up weekly. Maybe monthly. Try to incorporate this. I do like this forum. I do like a more open forum. Maybe either 2K subs, maybe monthly. Maybe the next huge release that makes me really lose my mind. Maybe like when Doomsday or something comes out. It was a movie that made me keep thinking about it for weeks after that. The Prestige. Great movie. Another underrated movie by him is Memento. I'm a big Nolan guy, though. But yeah, guys. Obsession is one of them, yes. Great chat. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. It's always fun talking in the comments, dude. This was good. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what before I dip, by the way, what program were you using to share with people? I mean, I'm not opposed. Maybe you can get on here sometime. Maybe somebody else can. Like, maybe I can get like we can get a panel or something. I don't know. Just talk of something so it's just not me. But I'm open. I mean, this was fun. I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing, but no problem, man. It's nice to meet you, dude. Thanks for stopping by, dude. I really like this kind of StreamYard in the past. StreamYard? All right, I'm going to make note of that. I'm going to have to look into this. I'm going to do my homework on live streaming. You to catch up on my Nolan? Yeah. All right, guys. Other than that, thank you for stopping by, all of you. I appreciate you guys, as always. I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.